Bam, bam, bam. And now, coming to you live from northern Pennsylvania. We're back. We're back for some more D&D. I know, it's been a very long time. It's been a whole month. It's funny. Wait! This is October.
Yeah,
Have we been doing this for a year now? Is this or is November a year? Are we about to is November episode 1?
I
think
have
it
this
was
as a time.
November. I believe it was the very start of November because October was when we were doing our little test runs.
That's right, we were doing test runs, so we're nearing up a year on doing this campaign already.
But the question is, have we? I mean, technically, we've averaged like a little more than an episode per month.
Yeah, because this is episode 14, and there's 12 months in a year, so we're doing okay.
We're doing great.
Ugh. Hey, life gets in the way, but you know what? We're here to have fun. We're here to have fun, and we're doing that. We're having fun. Are you having fun? I'm having
I'm having a great old time.
fun.
Do you know
Trying to think.
when I'll have even better time, DM? When we
What?
start rolling dices.
Oh, dices, deuces. Deuces.
Dice.
Don't roll
I
a
did
2.
just roll earlier. Everything looks good.
I'm glad because when your character sheet just consistently rolls, what was it, like a 6 every time or a 4 every time,
Yeah,
like
something
that
like
just
that. Yeah.
that just really puts a damper on things.
But,
Trying to think of what what'd you
Macbeth.
say? Oh, huh. So little tiny bits of housekeeping and things. Yes, I know that episode 13 has not been posted to YouTube because apparently it's cursed, and I haven't had the time to finish editing and rendering it and getting it out to the YouTube. However, I have time this week to work on that, so that should be up soon. Podcast version obviously hasn't happened yet. It's been almost a year. Hasn't happened yet. It's okay. It's gonna take time. But once we get that rolling, eventually, when I have the time to do that, it will happen. That, or if you guys manage to boost us to the point where we can just afford to pay someone to make the podcast, like that would be great. I hate to break it to you, but that's like $300 an episode for someone to do the editing for us. So, uh, at this point, we're hitting some good monies.
It's really
Uh,
$300 an episode.
that was using Fiverr, so that's like because they charge you by the hour, or they charge you like by so many minutes of editing when it comes to podcast. Most of them are blotted out to be an hour, and then if you want to do like things where they fix the cadence of the conversation, like removing the uhs, ums, ers, all those little noises, pops, and all this other stuff, that all is extra. It's a whole thing. And it's based off of the footage or not the footage, the audio and stuff you give them, not necessarily what the final product is. So if we provide 4 hours of audio and they're going through it and we get 3 hours back, we're paying for four because that's what they have to go through.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just one of those. The cheapest I was able to find was like $150 an episode, but the norm is like 250 to 300. So, and I figured having someone who can come in and like clean stuff up, hey, you have access to all my music and stuff, and add that in and make it all pretty like, it would probably be worth the extra couple of bucks at that point.
Yep, probably. Yeah, definitely.
So it's just a matter of one of two things happening. Either this becomes big enough where it pays for itself, or I'd hopefully maybe just being Christmas money. Christmas money. Ladies and gentlemen, just Christmas money so I can make a podcast. We'll just do it that way.
I just
Yeah.
realized that is like incredibly good money if you're doing that for a living.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that is
That's true.
astonishingly good.
Yeah, I mean, you assume you're paying like 30 something percent into taxes because you're an independent contractor and self-employed and doing all that side.
Which it's basically the same as what you're paying anyway. Because I mean,
Yeah,
ultimately,
at that point.
yeah. But I mean, even beyond that, I mean, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I'm looking at the numbers here, and it is absolutely just stellar.
I wholeheartedly agree. Honestly, there's a part of me that wishes I had a better knack
Career
for it, and
change.
Time for a career change. Yeah.
the problem is what I've learned is going through all the audio, I have that thing where if I hear too much of those ums, ers, and also like the microphone noises, like the pops, the gurgles, the little things like that, drives me absolutely batty. So I can only edit so much at a time before I'm like, okay, nope, need to stop, brain. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, see there, that's one of the ums and the ahs and all that nonsense. Yeah, you can do that, but I mean, like the microphone or mouth sound and pops and all that nonsense. I being old school, having done lab work in a photographic world, garbage in, garbage out, man. You don't want that shit there. Don't do it in the first place.
You know what's next to my microphone?
What?
Keyboard.
Oh. Click, click.
Hey man,
So, I try to make sure that at least on my audio channel, it's clean where those are only on mine. I don't use the Twitch record. Anyway, we're way digressing.
I mean,
sorry.
isn't that like par for the course with us? Let's be real.
Yep.
That is very true. Oh, and Jim's frozen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Jim. How's it going? Welcome back.
Hi, the moment of calm brought to you by Comcast.
That's another thing. We should not say that name either.
Exactly. Hey man, we're going to charge you $50 a month, and it's going to be unreliable.
Why are you doing this to me? Because we hate you.
And because we
there's
can.
a monopoly in town. It's either us or AT&T, and we're both going to screw you.
Uh-huh.
I had some comments to add to that, but we're not because I try to keep this just a touch friendly. You guys can say whatever the heck you want. I'm gonna keep myself a little friend, because anyway.
You're pandering to like big tech internet. Okay.
Platform. Do you know where we are? Are you kidding?
No.
Are you kidding? All right. So, without further ado, who wants to
Yay!
recap last session?
I don't even remember it. I am sorry, but I am useless to this endeavor.
We're nothing if not consistent.
Doing 5 people's jobs now. Here we go. All right. Okay.
But you're so incredibly good at it.
Yeah, we just don't want
Let's-
to take it away from you.
And plus,
Oh, I
first of all, you're going to
appreciate
get bonus kittens here probably the next week or two.
You're
I
too
wish. No, I
valuable
cannot have that.
to promote. That's what's going on here.
Oh, technically it is a promotion. I'm doing felonies, but they all involve teenagers who are in gangs and take guns to schools. So there you go.
Like I said.
They'll make a movie out of it.
So in last month's absolutely cursed session, which I will remind you that we had 3 nat 1s at the approximate 30-minute mark, and it just got worse from there. The gang decided to go shower diving and explored some pipes. They pretended that they were Mario to very poor effect. Bob the dog tracked Chlor's scent into the pipes beneath the showers. Rinningham followed after Theo brought up the rear, and Penn was in the lead, unfortunately, and got all grody. The party was somewhat queasy from the mess, and poor Penn actually got sick, and then everyone followed after. After some discussion about how scent travels in pipes and trying to figure out their next move, the gang decided to keep heading down the pipe system. Smell grew less awful as they went. And then they wandered into an area that had some sort of like liquid or powder pouring into the water, and then it steamed up really quickly, and they used that powder to break the lock on a door.
Exploded.
Yes. It went kaboom after some very careful maneuvering with the shovel from Theo. And so, where we last left off, the gang, still in the process of searching for Chlor, found themselves inside of a room that they just broken into, maybe some sort of boiler room. Not quite clear on that yet. That's where they were.
Yes. So we left off as the rest of the party minus Chlor had just broken through the door and into the new hallway area. And I think I'd even made a joke like right after we closed, like roll initiative. No. There's a dim light in the hallway, and the steam from the room that's behind you is now billowing in the hallway. You can feel the heat at your back, but it's much cooler up front. The light appears to be coming from an archway about 25 feet down on the right-hand side. However, beyond that, the passageway does continue on, and there's a dim blue, palish light, not terribly dissimilar to the light of the room that you were just in, coming from the end of the hallway, closer to like about 60 feet down. So all told, you're in a long hallway that has dim lighting.
Point of clarification. After we got out of that room and opened the door, didn't I work out a deal with Penn where I'd be like some animal other than a dog, like a cat or something, so I could just ride on her shoulder?
You are a cat currently.
Yes, you were a cat.
Okay.
You went from dog to cat after your wild shape went off. We had a discussion about whether or not clothing shapes with you.
Right.
It does for druids, not for wizards.
Yes,
And then you
and then
became
how
cat.
and then how rules is written, cats can't jump.
Yes, which is ridiculous, but we don't need to get back into that.
And then elephants can clear houses. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
silly.
Just clarifying, because I could it was foggy. It was foggy.
Just like the room you were in.
Aha!
So, as the door opens, another release of the dark powdered materials hit the liquid, and it sizzles and creates another wave of heat and steam that rises, and you can feel the pressure push against your backs into the hallway. And then moisture begins to form on the ceiling and the walls beside you as each time it drops some more, the gust of hot, warm air hits a cooler hallway. There's now slowly little pools in the uneven rock stone floor beginning to form, where you can see just little small puddles. You basically made it start
Proceed
raining
down the
inside this
hallway.
hallway. Down the hallway?
Theo follows after.
Are you just walking, or are you being stealthy?
I'm being a kitty.
That is true. Yes, Jim, you're being a kitty.
I love it.
Mr. Whiskers is being really soft and cute right now.
Aww.
That's right. Very cute. I'm looking for kitty treats.
Considering the state of everything, I don't think I would be sneaking.
I was gonna say it was gonna be really funny if you tried to sneak after blasting this door open.
Exactly. There's no point
but
to
I-
it, right? I mean,
but I
we
wanted to
really
ask
want-
anyway.
Considered.
I wanted to ask anyway for when you guys are like, blue man, like doo-doo, 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 slinking
Hashtag,
along.
Now all of China knows you're here.
Yep.
Oh no, there are explosions all the time. They can't tell one from another.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're trying to be stealthy. All right.
Remember, we need to sneak, guys. Clang, 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 clang. Boom.
I have
Yeah, we
many
gave up
stories
on
about those sorts of failures. Okay, so as you head down the hallway, you approach where the yellowish glowing light is, 25 feet down, and there's a rather moderately sized room, about 25 by 25, that appears to be filled with all sorts of supplies. There are several barrels that appear to be filled with either food or liquids. Stacked on top of that are other crates filled with just cloth and traveling materials. There's rope. There's bedrolls. Some of them are actually strewn out, and there's lanterns that are lit, kind of sitting next to you where some of these bedrolls are. About 4 in total. On the shelves, you can see there's just different, knickknacks and accoutrements of.
Are there any
Uh,
paddywhacks?
no, unfortunately, because they gave the dog all the bones.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So.
So I'm no expert here on these things, but wouldn't the miners have been back, back in the main town where we were and not down here in the pipes?
Renningham just kind of walks in and just starts rummaging through people's stuff. Yeah, well. Oh gosh, I can't even do his voice very well. It's been too long since I've heard it. Uh,
Close enough. You're doing good. You're doing good. Encouragement. This is encouragement. You're doing fine.
I'm trying to remember how it goes. He has a cadence that's particular with Renningham.
I think they left this here for us to go through on our own.
Yep.
There it is. There it is. Hey, do you want to be Renningham? That would be splendid if you want to be Renningham.
I'll try.
Okay. If it doesn't work, we'll trade off. You had it going right better than I did, so I appreciate it.
You win.
Yay!
Pen's gonna follow like right in Reningham's suit and start rifling through stuff that looks interesting.
I mean, normally
Alright.
I'd be against
Probably
this, but
food and preferably a clean cloth to at least clean it.
All right. If you wouldn't mind rolling me an investigation check, and Renningham is going to get one as well.
normally I'd have something to say about that. But to be honest, I don't think that these belong to the miners. These are probably not people that should be here. So I think I'm fine with this one. Let me know if you
22.
find
Alright.
anything interesting.
Renningham got a 14, and Penn got a 22. Holy monkeys! All right. So, as you guys are snooping around,
Let's go shopping. Don't forget, if you're sick, you have disadvantage on attacks and ability checks.
that's right. You are currently sickened from some of the sensations and things you had to go through. I had a thing that I wanted to use. I had a thing that I wanted to use. Where is it?
See, that's why you get everybody else's workload, because you remember everything.
It's true. You do kind of remember everything. It works out really nicely. All right. So, as you guys are rummaging through, you find small bags of meticulously ordered collections of coins. So there's bundles where you can tell they're all like exactly stitched in the same size leather bags. The lengths of the string are almost exactly the same. The number of coins in them, they each have 10 gold piece in them, and you find 15 bags, each with 10 gold pieces in them. You do find another bag that's larger and a lot rougher looking that has about 100 copper and another, 90 something silver in it. Just kind of piled up there separate, but all of the gold coinage are separated into individual bags.
Not anymore. They're not.
You know what this room is. This is a storeroom for the local kindergarten, and they're all saving up to go on a summer field trip.
Guess they're gonna
That's
have
why-
to start over with that bake sale. Pen's gonna be swiping at least half of those. Rinningham's gonna take the other half.
It's bake sale money. Mine.
You also, as you guys are going through, you find 2 potions. There is a. I mean, you can make out some of the arcane symbology on them to, it's a pretty common, hey, this is what we use to mark in these ways. And the first is a potion of invisibility.
Okay.
The second is a potion of water breathing.
Yeah, gonna be taking both of those.
And then lastly, in a rather fine material, however, it's otherwise rather plain in terms of like any decoration, but this bag holds a large glass sphere about 4 inches across. I say large. I mean, that's pretty decent.
Well, it's a pretty decent sized piece of glass,
Yeah.
especially in this time frame.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, it's not as if glass is just everywhere.
the last thing, as the two of you continue to rummage the room, that is of particular note is 2 of the 4 bedrolls are still warm.
Mhm.
And that's
Gee, I wonder what maybe made them flee. Couldn't have
and
been
that's
the sound of it exploding
mainly
in the door, right?
because of Penn's very, very ridiculously high investigation.
That's
I'm
funny.
a genius.
It is genius. He did great.
So how much gold do
Uh,
I get? And how much does Birmingham get?
There's 15 bags, 10 gold each.
Well,
100 copper.
let's do the math here, Shelby.
Well, you can just add this directly to your character sheet, like as the numbers I'm telling you. So like 150 gold if you use all the gold bags, but they're all separated into their own bag.
So
100.
I'm gonna take. Can
Say.
can I divide it? Like, do you care if I divide it 50-50 between me and Birmingham? He gets 75. I get 75.
Well, wait a minute. You don't have thief in your character descriptor, do you?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have much in my character description.
Okay. Well, never mind then. I was going to say it doesn't have to be 50-50. But that-
But I'm gonna go ahead, and because Birmingham had started this whole investigation process, and I joined him in it.
Okay. That's
so-
awfully. That's fair.
So
Awfully nice of you.
where is any of my stuff?
And you
Ooh,
just,
add items to back.
I guess, yeah. I mean, unless anyone opposes the two of them just pocketing everything.
I'm under the. Well, oh, wait a minute. I am a kitty. I am on the shoulder. I do see all of this.
You do. You see all of it. And Theo's not really, you're not hiding it, so Theo, you're just kind of standing there in the doorway, I guess, just keeping watch.
Keeping watch, keeping an eye out. Yeah, no, Theo's just not gonna really say anything about this. He's got his standards for where he's gonna get things to say.
Theo, give me a perception check if you're standing watch. Just for,
Absolutely, with
just for
disadvantage
shiggles
because
and
I'm also
gets.
sick. Okay, roll number 1 is great. It's an 8.
Woo!
Roll number 2, sadly, was a 22. So I'll take that 8.
I don't know about you, feeling 22.
I mean, I have a passive. My passive perception is 14.
Yeah, okay, well,
I mean, I'm
I
just
have the,
standing there in the doorway, keeping.
I've
keeping
got
an
the
eye out.
numbers. I've got the numbers. Also, can everyone give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh my God, not that.
Oh.
I'm taking the 100 copper too.
Okay.
I'll let what's his face take the Birmingham can take the silver. How much silver was it?
That's a 6.
Oh my gosh, Stuart was a 5.
Ugh.
Bob.
3.
Bob, you did a check, not a save. There's the saves are either right.
Oh, dang it. I always
Yep.
hit the wrong button.
Yep. So
And I was so
I
getting
think,
into that 3.
I know.
You might look out.
Start-
You might get better.
It's a darn shame you didn't get to keep the. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, better. Much better.
So actually, I don't remember who all was sick. I don't have that on my note in front of me.
I'm looking for it on mine, and I.
Oh yes, actually, you.
I'm poisoned, so yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
Bob, you didn't actually have to make the save
Except for Bob.
because you're
Bob was
not
okay.
poisoned because you were fine. So all of you guys are still. You're not getting worse, really, but you're
We're not
not
getting better.
better.
We're still.
You're still feeling like gross from swimming in whatever that was.
He was
But yes,
yucky.
so Penn grand total it was 150 gold, 96 silver, and 100 copper.
Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this silver for myself for all of the troubles that I've had to endure and all of the beatings I've had to take while going on this investigation. This is just compensation for my services until we find a better.
Hey, DM, can we just replace Stuart with Shelby? I think she's killing the role.
For as long as he's not here, if she wants it. All right, I'm gonna add. You said you're splitting the gold. He's getting the silver, and you're getting the copper.
Gold. He gets 96 silver. I'm taking 75 gold and the 100 copper.
Okay, cool. Especially because Renningham, well, he had all of his money taken from him by those guards all but, a few days ago. So
Yeah, that was like what, 6 gold or something?
Don't worry, he's made it back in
over tenfold in spades.
Yeah.
And
then I'm gonna ignore him and I'm gonna take both potions.
Either of those, they do, healing. Because, I'm not doing so hot.
Meow! Neither one of these says healing.
Well, damn. Okay,
You'll
back to
have
you.
to ask the druid when he comes back.
He's not doing so hot, guys.
Oh no.
We could
he
have
just
said
he does
something.
he does not like on the scale of do I look fine, do I look a little haggard, and do I look like I'm, inch from death? He's not good or haggard.
Oh no. Uh-oh. That's a problem.
So, anyway, continue to
You could see if there's some first aid supplies somewhere in here if that would help your condition.
I'm gonna give him another investigation check for specific things, because you guys are just doing a normal loot in the room. Let's see what he can find. Hey, that's actually not half bad. I'm gonna have him roll me some percentile dice now too.
Is that potion called the potion of bottled breath?
Say again?
The one that lets you breathe underwater?
Bottled breath. Ooh.
I was looking at the D&D Beyond has like an actual potions to like that you could put in there. Just curious.
Nice roll, DM.
Thanks. Thought there was a potion of water breathing. There's a potion
There
of water
should
breathing.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. It exists.
Oh.
It's an uncommon potion.
Water breathing. Good. And what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Invisibility.
Oh. D&D Beyond is broken.
What do you mean D&D Bound is broken?
I tried to add it to my thing and I just got a whole error page and it's making me go through my whole like login thing.
Oh.
I feel gypped. I've never found an error page. Those normally show up for me.
No, yours just errors without doing any, silently. It's great.
Yeah, that's true. It just decides that it's gonna, keep rolling 4s and 6s.
That's very true. An error page, man.
Oh, now I got it. Okay, water breathing and invisibility.
Yes. Yep. Okay. As Renningham goes through rummaging around, he does manage to find a potion of healing. Because he rolled decently on his percentile dice. He rolled 69.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Alright, so that's 1d4, 2d4. Let me just pull it up. Potion of healing. I believe it's 2d4 plus 2. Okay, cool. Let's get him some hit points. Boop boop. Roll. Oh, he got 5 whole hit points back.
Hey,
He
it's
rolled
better
a
than
1 and a 2. So he's now not looking like he's dying,
He's just almost dying.
basically.
Yes, but,
He's-
but
Only
almost dead is
mostly
still
dead.
partly alive. Yes, mostly
He's
dead. is
he's
still partly alive.
actually he's technically over the halfway point, so he looks more or less okay.
Good.
Although he's
Well,
still
now that was some good investigating on our part. We should probably take our leave of this place before these people come back and notice some of their belongings are procured by other persons at this time.
Theo.
So,
This whole
we're
time
look-
of you keeping watch, you did
Yes.
not notice anything.
of course not. Of course not.
Well, I guess we
Mosey
continue on into the cave where the people are gonna notice? We might have. They won't notice. Everything's in the backpack. I'm kidding.
I mean, but at least they know we're here, right? I mean, there's no way that no one heard the door going kaboom.
Not necessarily that we're responsible for it.
Well,
When we walk up on them, if they're still down here, I think they'll realize we're responsible for it, won't they?
I think this is a one-way tunnel.
There's a door behind us that we got rid of the lock on.
Right.
it's a one-way tunnel.
But we can either go back where we came and not continue this investigation, or we can go forward. There's only two options.
Right, but what I'm saying is that whenever we run into whoever was sleeping down here, if they're down here, then they're gonna know that it was us that messed up their door.
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe we just say that it happened in front of us. Didn't happen because of us.
Yeah.
We were in the previous room and we heard it too, and we ran forward to investigate what was happening, but there was nothing left.
Something
think
tells
he's
me nobody's
gonna
going to believe that story.
Right. I don't think these people are gonna believe us if we tell them that.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I said
He's
that.
a
in-
cat.
You're a cat.
Unless
Yeah,
he's a
exactly.
cat,
Meow,
Theo.
meow, 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 meow.
No, but Theo would have said that anyway. He still doesn't think that they believe it either. He's dumb. He's not that dumb.
Then I guess keep your shovel out. Get ready.
All right, fine, I will.
Just be ready for death.
Now that we've squared that away, ladies and gentlemen, let's press onward, shall we? We've come this far. It wouldn't make much sense for us to have wasted all this just to go back and not end up with anything else.
Well, we're looking for
Oh, this
Chlor.
probably isn't the worst for it. I'd be okay with turning around at this point as well.
We can't turn back right now, right? I mean, we tracked the scent of Chlor down to their room, and this was the one of the only ways that we could have gone, and it's certainly big enough for him to fit through. So I think this is probably a good idea. Let's just explore our options here and explore forward.
Sniff,
After you
sniff, sniff,
whisper.
sniff, 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 sniff.
When we realized that the Jim's whole reason for being a druid was to be able to I can just be an animal and not say anything and let everyone else make decisions.
I turn into a wolf and I stand in the corner.
No, please, not those memories. Please. We left that campaign. That's in the past. That's history. It died.
I had to.
All right.
SDM, I think
So-
that we press onward.
All right, we press onward.
Mm.
So, the
Lonzi.
four of you, if you're going to say it, you got to have the French accent, Alonzi, or you do it with a very high pitch, Alonzi. You have to put some flair. No? No flair?
That's fair.
26 pieces of flair to you.
Dunk, Alonzi.
I see you
That's-
only have the required 15 pieces of flair.
I'm gonna need you to come in on Sunday.
That's a
Yeah,
full day, not
that'd
a half
be
day.
great.
Yeah, that'd
That'd
be great.
great.
All right, we press onward.
Okay. So,
Theo's leading now.
Theo's like, fine, I'm in charge now. Heads out. You guys make your exit and go down the right. towards the other end. Around this bend, the dim blue light appears to be coming from several portholes in the ceiling. And as you walk down, you can actually look up and see that a similar glowing blue liquid is just above your heads beyond these portholes. Because every so often there's a change where it ripples, and it ripples down the hallway. The hallway goes about 80 feet. However, standing the other side, you see a human. And his sword is drawn. And he's just staring at you. He's a rather
Meow.
portly fella. Balding. Very simple clothing. Sword from this distance looks not as shiny as, one of your own, but he's just kind of standing there staring at you. But it's a little hard to make out the rest of his expression.
Meow.
You,
Okay.
And has a staring contest.
you come to root us out?
Who are you?
Depends who us is.
Depends on who you are.
No one of consequence.
We're looking for someone.
Aren't we all?
No. Okay, I wish you luck in your search for people. I understand there's a place where you can go to find lost persons here. But sir, we're looking for someone who was taken from us. It's a rather large fellow, kind of got a scary face, wears a bracelet. Kind of like ours. He's really nice.
So you're not here to root us out?
Have no intentions.
We're
Just
just
want to
looking
get
for our
through this
friend.
damn fucking sewer.
Well, came from my home direction. Did you take anything?
Meow.
We did take a potion of healing because our companion here, and he points at Renningham, was literally on the verge of death.
Yeah, I'm going with Dad because I'm gonna do some work there.
I'm gonna quickly roll a Constitution save for Renningham to see if he pukes in front of him.
Oh.
That was a nat
Which
2.
one?
He pukes. Renningham.
Oh, but this makes it more realistic. I love it.
It adds to
Does
the
that give
belief.
pin advantage on or a bonus on their lie there?
I mean, it's not entirely a lie. It's just not
That's true.
entirely the truth.
It's not the entire truth.
Hence, I didn't lie.
Didn't we have a whole
That,
discussion once about how like omission counts as lying here? That was the whole thing with me trying to tell you Theo was not lying to the officers. But whatever.
That was my son's. My family stays down here. So that was his medicine.
Sorry. Why is your family are you minors? Do you not have a place to stay? Like I'm a bit confused. here, sir.
We're
We're homeless.
Look, if you're not here to root us out, I ask that you go on your merry way and try to find your
Okay.
man.
Okay, well, I feel bad about the whole potion thing, sir. So, and Theo's gonna reach into his coin pouch and he's gonna get out a gold piece because he still has no idea how much healing potions cost, and also, he feels bad about this whole thing. He's gonna hold it out to the guys and say, "To get
I
yourself."
mean, he's
some
like
facial
across the
medicine."
other end of the hallway right now. He's
I
like,
know,
you guys.
I know. He's holding it up so we can see what it is. He's got the shovel placed back on his backpack. He says, "I got a gold piece I'd like to give you. All right, now I'm not coming to you to cause any trouble. Is that okay?
I don't need your money.
Look,
I don't
we
need your pity.
we used one of your potions. Now I feel bad about that. I just want to make it up to you. That's all."
We'll find another. We'll find a way. Just please move on.
Okay, but
Pretend
can
you didn't
at
see
least
us.
All right.
Ken starts strolling by. Sounds good to me. We're ghosts. You're ghosts. We ghost them.
Before we leave, though, have you seen anyone come by here? Maybe with the large, hairy fella with him.
I can't say that I have, but it could have happened. We move around to find safe places.
We just stole the life savings of a homeless guy.
I hope you all feel bad about that.
Meow.
He doesn't feel bad about it. That's the interpretation right there.
Yeah.
Kitty doesn't feel bad at all. Kitty feels no remorse.
I mean, cats don't feel guilt at all. They're all sociopaths. We all know that.
Oh, I'm gonna keep this one in my pocket.
You're
Pen
keeping a
starts
cat in your pocket?
whistling.
That's uncomfortable. So Penn just walks ahead of the rest of you guys
Pocket
and just
cat.
as you approach the other end of the hallway, he's kind of holds his sword closer to his side, and you can see he's just got a very stern face. He's got, some facial hair, and he doesn't really express a whole lot, and he just kind of watches. Looking at the sword, it's really not that well conditioned. Probably got it dirt cheap. It's not even all that sharp. It would probably hurt, but it wouldn't be the same as, fighting a town's guard. And he's fit enough, but not really like prepped for a real fight. However, as you turn the corner, you see also in rather plain, kind of unkempt condition is an elven woman holding a small toddler, and at her side is, tucked against mom, is another half-elven baby, or a child, like about, about waist high, just kind of hugging onto mom.
Oh, we are so flirting with an alignment check.
Pen strolls on by with a happy whistle, pretending
Theo?
there is nothing there.
Theo didn't see the thievery, so he has no clue that happened. He was keeping watch.
I mean, yeah. That is
If he
true.
was keeping watch, he has no clue what happened there. He was
That is
keeping a
true.
lookout.
That is true.
So all he knows about
So
is the health
tempted to,
potion.
put something in here, but I can't think of it on the spot this fast.
Oh,
Jim.
I'm so glad I'm a cat, because otherwise I'd probably belie the whole story with facial expressions.
Oh, this hurts, DM. I hate it. But I'm
I
not going
don't.
to metagame. Anyway, as Theo, as they cross the corner, Theo, still feeling bad about the whole thing, he's gonna to the elven woman say, "Look, we're not going to say anything about you being here. We're not going to tell anyone about anything. I tried to give this to your husband to make it up for what we had to do to help one of my companions. He refused to accept it. I feel really bad,
Yep.
and he's just gonna hold the gold piece out to her.
Don't
and kinda give her,
take the money. Just let him buy. Just let him go. We don't want to owe them nothing.
You
She
won't
just kind
owe
of
me
stares at.
nothing.
She just kind of stares at him like wide-eyed and like yes, and then they just kind of shuffle past you guys and head back.
Real quickly, I would like to take note that cats respond to smell. They're very smell oriented, because they mark their territory and stuff. I'm going to make a really good note of the aroma of these folks so I can find them again.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Well, you don't want to owe us nothing, sir, but how about a fair exchange then? We'll buy that health potion from you. Above market value? I understand that's how economics works, right? He looks to Renningham to back him up.
Brenningham is busy like projectile vomiting on the side of the wall.
He's just heaving out like it's all bile at this point. There's just nothing left.
It's just dry heaving.
Yeah.
I learned it from that guy. He's smart with numbers and business.
It's an episode of Family Guy.
That's true.
Oh gosh, the
That's
epicac.
true.
Oh. Brian, I'm sorry, Brian. Do it. Fill my ears. Um. Gosh. But yes. Bob, do a. You because you're a cat, you get advantage, so you get to roll twice. They have advantage on perception
Yay!
checks for smell. You were intentional about. I am smelling this out.
Excellent. Oh, that's terrible.
All right. Let me make a note of that. Okay. Okay. Cool. We're good. All right. So as you walk by, you kind of cat on Pen's shoulder, kind of like licks out and sniffs, and one little toddler, like that's the one at the side, just kind of like looks up and is like you can see like the fear goes to aw for like half a second before Kitty is now out of sight and goes back to like against mom. And Renningham just kind of like wiping his mouth, just kind of like comes up the rear, just like the door at the end is open. You might want to shut it. Just walks on by.
He kind of doesn't lock anymore.
You're
The
not going to be keeping them dragons out.
the gentleman just kind of like sighs.
I
And
feel so bad.
They just he just back hand on the back of his wife, just kind of like shuffles him down.
Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on then, huh?
A little bit. Uh, Bob, with your perception check, specifically with smells, it doesn't take long walking down this hallway as you were just kind of like moving along with Pen. You get a wafting of a smell that is sulfurous and pungent, and that kind of fades to match up with another smell that is it's like a burning grease.
It's a grease fire. There's a burger joint around here somewhere.
Fresh hot sewer burgers. Who wants a sewer burger?
Oh, it sounds delicious.
It's made from fresh rat.
Hey, we got rats, we got snakes, we even got frogs sometimes if we're lucky. So yes, down this hallway, the blue light kind of dims behind you.
Okay, so at this point, how are we doing on our quest for our missing compatriot? Are we still going in the right direction, or have we made a wrong turn?
Well, do
So
you
that
smell
would be a
Perception check?
intentional perception check, yes, which again you get advantage on because you're a cat for smells
Meow.
to track the scent of a particular chlor.
Human, humanoid, human-ish. Okay, there's a 14.
All right, you get advantage to roll again.
Oh man, I always
I
do
know.
that wrong. I forget that advantages roll twice, not like add 4.
Yeah, yep. All right, so that's nice. That's
That's a 22.
22. All right. So, you sniff the air and realize that the smell of chlor, you just kind of like start sniffing around trying to track it all. If the smell of chlor appears to be just gone.
We went the wrong way.
Or he just hasn't been here in a long time.
Oh no, panic. I must find this smell. I've lost it. I jumped down from the shoulder and I'm sniffing everywhere, looking intently, like, like a cat does.
As you sniff around, there's no there's no more scent of chlor. In fact, post walking past that family, most of what you smell is this sulfurous and greasy, burning
They fried
smell.
core.
Oh, well,
You didn't
have to
check.
do it some way.
You didn't check the people for shakes, you know?
Yep, yep, yeah. Bad case of cougar running amok around here.
Don't worry, he can still be of value.
You have to read. No. Um, um,
Or at least part of him can.
uh, backtracking. Going backwards toward past the ground that we'd covered because I'd lost the scent. And the only reason I'm a cat is to keep up with it. Dang it, I failed. I must find this scent.
Okay, do you start heading further back down the hallway? Like, how far back do you go before you're intentionally trying to seek out?
I'm just going. I'm fixating, looking for this
So,
path.
so Bob the cat, having hopped off of Pen, just kind of like starts like frantically sniffing around and then like bolts down the back of the way you guys came. You watch this cat just kind of like off into the distance.
Pen's gonna like, I'm just gonna stay here.
All right, then I guess I'll follow the cat. We cover all of our bases.
Still not feeling that right.
Oh.
I'm gonna stay here because we all know good things happen when everyone goes their separate ways. Yeah.
Right.
Jim, you make it back to or Bob. Sorry about the character. Jim is the player, but try to keep us to the character. Sorry. Bob, you reach the lit tunnel, and you can see the
multiple personality.
cerulean light kind of shimmering through. And you sniff around again. Give me a perception check for sniffage.
That's not too bad. Let's see if we can beat it. Ah, we didn't.
All right. Well, you get advantage, so you get to take the higher. However, as you are sniffing around, the thing that you notice the most is that the scent is extremely faint. It's more like a smell that is reminiscent of it, so much as this was definitively the scent I was following. It's more like like that's kind of like coffee when you are, 2 streets down from a coffee shop, and then it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I shall continue my endeavor to regain the trail. The tracking shall continue. It's as if I'm pursuing a mouse.
What are cats' movement speed? 40 feet. Okay, so they can definitely, he's full tilting it. So Theo, if you're trying to keep up, it's gonna take a little bit of effort.
That's fine. I mean, Theo's, content to just kind of follow after, keeping an eye on him, because right now Bob is a cat, and if something happens, he's gonna need some help.
You're in good shape.
Bob, as you pass around the corner and back towards the room with the bed, the sleeping bag, bed rolls kind of all set up and the random supplies, you kind of can peek your head in and see that they're all like trying to settle down. The dad's sitting there and he's just kind of just going through some of his things, and those bastards, they took
Everything.
our stuff, but there's more of them than there is us. But It'll be fine. We'll make do. She kind of looks at him and she's like, his fever's getting high again. He's like, I know. We'll figure it out. We got the water nearby. We'll cool him off and we'll get this figured out.
So
Do you
DM,
keep? Yes.
was this Bob just passing by, or was Theo close enough to hear?
Currently, it was just Bob.
Okay.
Because Bob is like cat
He's a
style,
cat.
sprint,
He's booking it. Right.
sprinting
Exactly.
down, sniff, sniff, sniff,
Zoomies.
sniff, sprinting down again. So at most you're still, 40 feet behind him if you were sprinting after him, and you said you were kind of doing a little more leisurely. So,
Well, he's keeping like an eye on Bob. He doesn't want to lose sight of him in
well,
case something
doesn't
happens to the cat.
doesn't take much for him, but Bob to clear the distances of some of
Yes.
these hallways and get around the bends. So Bob, do with that information what you will, but would you like to make another perception check?
Yes, I would. Okay.
With advantage.
Okay. That's not too bad. Not awesome, but not bad. I shall not complain.
And with that, the scent, as far as you can tell, is gone.
Hmm.
Roll me a survival check.
Oh well.
You do not get advantage on this one, so it's just a straight survival check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. In your times out in the great wilds outside, you have had to track your game to have a meal, more times than once.
Yeah.
And you think what's gone on is that the time has faded enough or has faded the sense enough that it's gonna get increasingly difficult to track things unless you find another spot where he may or may not have distinctly sat or been in. And so if they did just move him through here, there's not much left.
Okay. Well, in that case, not a lot of chance of regaining the sense. So I am going to wander into where this sick kid is.
Okay. And they just kind of like watch as this cat just like, you guys like, shoo. We got nothing for you. Shoo.
Which one's the sick one?
It's the smaller one, kind of laying down and heads in mom's lap, and she's, carefully playing with his hair.
How close do I have to do a passive medicine check on this kid to see if I can figure out what's wrong with it?
I mean, just a couple feet. You just have to.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, being as cute as I can.
Aww.
As you kind of get closer, the gentleman's like, he's like, I said get, cat. She's like, stop, it's fine. It's a cat. He just kind of stares grudgingly. All right, roll me a medicine check as you try to passively walk around. That is an 18. So the kid definitely has some sort of fever. You can see some of the sweat on his brow. You can see his cheeks are all kind of puffy and red. However, he doesn't have much of a cough, and he has been distinctly quiet for a child of his size at this point. So whatever it is that he has is really keeping him low energy. You've seen this before with small children some from time to time where they just get an illness that's hard to shake, and medicine would help, but
Question is, what kind of medicine?
with an 18, I'm gonna say you would probably be able to discern, um, thinking back to like having to do similar things for your camp back home, way back yonder. Uh, People would go out and collect different herbs and collect things to make medicines. Um, and you know, kicking a fever was its own particular art. Uh, Usually involved a couple of herbs to help bring down the fever, and then a couple of other ones to help pep up some energy. You know, depending on how strong it needed to be. And for kids, you kind of kept it more on the remove the fever and less on the pep and the step, just to keep them from overdoing it.
Not
Um,
not as much coffee, but more echinacea.
yeah, or you know, fever few, or you know, maybe even a little bit of meadow sweet in there to try to help bring down some of the fever and inflammation.
Okay, okay. So
Uh,
I got an idea. All right, cool. Yeah. I turn around and walk out like a confident cat that knows what he's doing.
and they just kind of like watch as the cat just kind of like walks in. Like this is their perspective. The cat just kind of like walks in, circles by the kid. Dad's like, "What the cat was that?" And then just like sniffs around a little bit, and then just turns around and walks away. Like doesn't rub up against anybody. Just kind of doesn't meow. Does nothing other than just kind of walk in, look at the kid, and just nope out.
Weird freaking cat.
That's right.
Cats.
Came in,
That's just the way
checked
it
it
be.
out, decided I didn't like this place, so I'm leaving.
Hmm hmm hmm
All right. Well,
All right, so I'm back out in the hall, and
yep. And down the hallways a ways, you see Theo just finally making it around the bend.
There you are, Bob. Jeez.
we'll wander back that way, and I'll rejoin Theo, and I guess we'll start heading back to the rest of the party.
Theo offers to pick Bob up and carry him.
Aw. In that case,
That's what it sounds.
I'll take the ride, and then when we get back, I'll transform back to my original shape.
All right. Yeah, Theo
No, I'm not
picks up
turning
the
down
cat
the
very
thing.
carefully and lets him onto his shoulders. Now he's got a little shoulder cat as he walks back. He's
I would
like,
be lying if a part of me didn't want to be all like, okay, now roll a handle animal check. Let's see.
I can if you want.
uh,
No. Says,
uh,
Bob, you sure are fast, and I can't really see the best down here. It's kind of dim for my eyes. I'm more used to the bright light, and you sure are, kind of a fast little critter. So I'm glad that you're okay. But boy, geez.
Meow. Meow, meow,
And
meow.
he gives the cat a scratch.
uh, all of you except Bob, can I get another Constitution saving throw? As we
That's a 14.
7, oh, 8 total.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Your camera's out of focus.
Yeah, it keeps doing that. I don't. It's the Microsoft. I've got the nice Logitech
Don't say
cam for
the
you on the
name.
stream. I've got the Microsoft product for the people who are like the people I'm playing with. So, uh, Theo, you finally begin to feel somewhat better.
Oh, thank goodness.
The consistent nausea just kind of begins to subside. However, for Penn and Renningham, um, still just not feeling it.
So
But
do you
also
want me
no
to keep
more.
the
You'll once you get a long rest, you'll be able to
I'm
start
gonna make a
getting
quick
some of
one.
those
Perfect.
things back.
Uh, start referring to it as the Redmond software.
Oh, the Redmond software.
The Redmond software. Okay,
The
okay.
Scottish play version. Okay. I get it.
I was thinking Bill Gates's Folly was the other one I was thinking of.
Oh, and he's gonna laugh all the way to the bank with that one.
I've got
Oh,
a
he
colleague
will.
that's currently training up there right now for the rest of this week, so that'll be fun.
Huh. Well, good for them.
They have a really cool cafeteria.
Oh, a colleague. Okay, there for a
Yes.
second I thought you said collie, and I was like, why do you have a
Yes, so the Redmond Software Company has started training dogs. It's one of their side gigs.
Yes.
That's why I was so confused.
Cortana is now going to be fluent in most pets, and they are bringing on some, canine experts in order to really round out the teams
Exactly.
and make sure that the product backlog is as accurate as possible. All right. So anyway, yeah, you meet up closer to the end of the hallway and start making your way back to the rest of the party. We're gonna jump to Penn and Rinningham. Do you guys just kind of hang out there? Do you want to? Do you just keep heading down the hallway where the smells are, or what do you in there, Penn?
I'm gonna drag Rinningham along with me, and we are going to attempt to be a little quiet and start walking towards the sound.
Okay.
Reverse that. Smells.
Okay.
Wrong scent.
So you're trying to do it quietly. So roll me some.
Like we're not running ahead, and we're not like.
Oh, so you're just kind of like leisurely strolling, but not really intentionally being stealthy. You're just kind of like
We're
quietly
walking at
slinking
Shelby's
along.
normal walking pace. How's that?
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. You are outpaced by grass growing, so got it.
Oh,
Are you
Oh,
gonna
come
take
on.
that?
I
he's not
Saw
wrong.
the
He has to like literally stretch his gait when I'm walking with him, or else he'll just leave me in the dust.
granted I'm from Jersey, so that's just the way it works. We just
That's
have-
how
we
that's
just-
how you do it. Yeah, no, I get
yeah.
you.
Also, saw a shot and I took it, so
That's how you know you guys are besties.
she really is. Okay. So, well, if you guys are making a leisurely version of this here stroll,
Like we're not
As you-
trying to leave, but we're not just gonna chill there.
yeah, I mean, like they're taking multiple turns of heading all the way down.
Right.
You guys are just kind of chilling there. Speaking of which, Bob, your hour of catness
Should be
is you're darn close to it.
So yeah, I was just gonna take the ride all the way back to the rest of the group and then
Kind of
return to
back into not cat.
yes.
Like a graceful leap. I'm picturing like Minerva McGonagall when she jumps off the desk and just changes like mid jump.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
hadn't thought about that. That would be awesome. It'd make it look like I knew what I was doing.
The druid who just accidentally turns into creatures every so often. Like, I don't know why this is happening to me.
Oh, the druid, the
should-
circle of wild magic.
In all fairness, what we should do is we'll try for that, but we need to do an acrobatics check to see if I succeed. Well, there's an 11.
I mean, you're not jumping very far. You're not jumping very high because you're a cat and rules is written. You can't. So, yeah, you just kind of like leap off and back into it, and you catch yourself. It's not like a glorious thing. It's not nearly as smooth as McGonagall, where she's just like right into a stride. You see, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, no, I've landed. Cool, we're good.
That means that I get to do the quintessential cat thing, which is turn around and look at everybody and like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Just look around, shrug, just kind of keep on walking.
Because no matter what happens, the cat always looks around like, yeah, I meant to do that. They
Mhm.
bounce off of 6 walls on the way down and land like on their side, and they'll stand up and go, yeah, I meant to do that.
Mhm, mhm.
So as you continue down this hallway, it continues to darken yet again until you kind of make your way around the bend. And off in the distance, you see yet another orangey, yellow glow. However, this time you can hear, just as soon as you turn around the bend, really, the faint whirring and, clanking, but it's very rhythmic and very mechanical. And before, where Bob used his scent track skills to pick up from the distance, like, oh hey, that's a particular type of smell, like now you all can just kind of smell it. It's a very distinct greasy sulfury, and even like bits. It's almost like you can smell like pieces, flakes of iron in the air. Uh,
It's a forge.
Oh, by
as
the
you
way,
can,
I do relay the fact that we lost Chlorcent to the rest of the party. We've lost him.
well, we can just go back then, and I can try to not feel like puking every 15 feet.
I think we should
So,
continue forwards.
I mean, when you say that we lost him, it's probably because the sun's gotten old, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, then that doesn't really do much for our information. I say that we just press on.
Oh, absolutely. But I can't track him anymore.
Right. Well, maybe we'll get lucky and maybe we'll stumble across something once we're out of this area that smells like eggs and such. And we'll find Chlorcent again.
That would be a wonderful thing. I would hope that would be the case at some point in time.
Yes, I think we should continue onwards instead of trying to go back through that mess.
The gang presses on.
The gang presses on. You continue forward.
Ding, ding.
Before, where these hallways were kind of like 5 to 10 feet wide, depending on like which stretch, here you find what appears to be a metal framed archway. It's about 15 feet wide. And from it is that glow, and now that you can see more light as you approach it, you can even see that some smoke and dust is kind of billowing out into the hallway and kind of like onto the ground. And as it hits the ground, occasionally some of it sizzles, not unlike the powder that you guys had spent some time with, just a short time ago.
Makes me
As
wonder what
inside
they're-
you, as inside you see a very large industrial structure. There's lots of machines that are pulling in from different belts, different materials, different types of ore. You see them being crunched in one machine. But it's not as loud as you would think. It's not, think the machinery in when they're building all of the droids in Star Wars Episode 2. And they're like making all the, you can see the forges going, you see all the, think a lot of that sort of machinery, but it's being done in such a way where you hear the crunching, you hear the whirring of the engine or the motors, but it's almost like they've intentionally worked to suppress the sheer volume of what's going on. You're seeing large pieces of material move into these devices and come out as a fine powder on the other side. And you hear no more noise than, what a coffee grinder would make,
It's
really for
magic.
the whole room. It's just a consistent noise through the whole room.
They're doing magic.
Beneath each of these structures across down on the ground, you can see a fiery red glow that kind of like emanates out and kind of ripples, and you can see where that is a lot of the source of light for this room, outside of a central large structure hanging up closer to the sky or ceiling, about 20 feet up in the air, that appears to be piped down to the tops of each of these units. And there's belts about a couple inches wide coming in from the walls, feeding into each of these machines, and out is coming a powder, and the powder is getting just kind of layered onto conveyors, and the conveyors go out the other end.
This is like a steampunk fantasy.
True.
This is prime gnomish engineering.
Gnomish engineering.
Amazon
Well,
Prime gnome engineering.
He's probably not in here. I'll give it that.
I don't know. He could be one of these powders.
That's
Oh,
true.
let's
Can
not
Pen
even.
touch the powder? Did we determine if the powder was safe to touch?
You did not determine if the powder was safe to touch.
That's somebody else's project.
Let's not even think about him possibly being a powder. That's something I don't want to even think about.
And drugs might be useful that way. Maybe that's what makes them all go boom.
So, Pen, do you want to touch the powder?
Yes. Hen wants to take a couple of fingers very carefully because I think he has just regular gloves, but they're like regular adventure
Ask, are
gloves.
you going to be using your own fingers?
Would I be? I mean, I have a hand, I think.
Answer that carefully, Pen. You're about to, reveal some interesting things to the rest of the party.
Yeah, so Penn raises an eyebrow at Bob. Are you implying something?
Oh, no, just curious. Just curious.
I could use yours.
I'm fond of them. Tell you what, when I get done with them, let's work a deal. But for the moment, I'm still using them.
He was
And
just
as-
between the two of them, like,
I
okay.
will never be done using them.
Pen, as you approach the machines and look at the belts, you can see that some of the material that is coming in to each of the devices is a little bit different. The shades are a little bit different. The make, some of them are more porous, and other ones are dense and solid. But the powder that's coming out is very fine and very uniform. However, the colors are all slightly different relative to the materials that are coming in. It's once they reach the belt in the middle that it's being fed into that you can kind of see where the belt every so often like curls, and you can see where it's kind of like loosely mixing the materials. And so at the end that you've started at, you can see like a very dark black material and another lighter gray material that are kind of getting crunched into powder and just kind of blending together. Do you still want to touch it? Which do you touch? Did we lose Pen?
Yes, I still want to touch it.
Okay, do you want to touch the black powder, the gray powder, or where it's mixing? Or do you want to go further along before you touch? Because there are multiple machines all kind of
Where it's mixing.
pull. Okay, okay. So you watch as Pen just kind of like meanders around, finds a place to kind of get a little close and just kind of dip his finger in there. And you said your hands are gloved, like loosely gloved.
He just says regular adventure gloves.
Okay. So you just kind of like dip your fingers in there and you get some of this powder on your glove, but nothing happens, and you're able to kind of like rub it in your fingers. And
Does it
it's
have a
just
smell?
it smells a little bit earthy with some hints of like a metallic-y smell, but it's hard to place.
It smells like metallic peat moss.
A little bit, honestly. Yeah, it's not a bad description for it.
Mm.
But you can also now see that the machine next to you that's moving stuff into the next section of belt before there's another part that mixes. The rock that's coming in is kind of unevenly colored. It appears to have some like grayish, but also some like specks that are greenish kind of coming in. And then the powder that comes out is like a gray-green, and that gets folded in. And then the one directly to your right is bringing in a much lighter material. In fact, it looks very chalky as it comes in. It looks like the same consistency in the powder and dust that's kind of coming off, and it gets kind of again onto the belt. And there's another section where it kind of just folds over and slightly mixes it.
Pen just keeps following the assembly line, watching it.
So we're gonna pause on you. Do anyone else actually do anything, or are you just watching Pen just kind of like go down the assembly line, look at stuff, and then just keep on going?
I'm just waiting to see if Pen's finger catches on fire.
I mean, Theo's a bit out of his depth here. This is just as extraordinary for him as the trains were.
I just wanted to make sure that the three of you basically are just kind of there in the doorway gawking as Penn just kind of just starts going down the assembly line, just kind of like, oh,
I don't think Theo's necessarily in the doorway. He's probably like wandered in a little bit, but he's not, checking out exactly what's going on with the powder. He's more like looking at the whole thing, just kind of like, I gotta take down notes for my little brother. Gotta tell him all about this. He'll love this.
I'm just waiting for a finger to burst into flames. That's all.
So, Penn, do you dip your finger in the next mixing point, or do you wait until like further down with the next machines? Do you just go to the end? Like how are you going about this?
Well, he's not gonna keep his hand in with the rest of it. And he wanted to see the consistency of where it was, but he's just gonna go towards the end product.
All right. So as you walk along,
I mean, like, just walking along, watching the whole thing, and moving towards the end product.
all right. So as you move along, there's a next machine is pumping out a very light blue-gray material onto the belt. Opposite a white-yellow blend, and you can actually see that as it rolls and mixes the stuff together here, it creates a lot of extra dust, and this section just is definitively a little bit warmer, and you can kind of see some energy, kind of like you can kind of see some of the little pieces kind of popping and moving just a little bit on their own. Before the last phase, it's a very light gray at this point. The last phase adds more of the dark material from the beginning and blends that in, and now it has the dark gray, faintly blue-green consistency and color of that powder that you remember seeing coming out of that hole into the pool of water. All of this at this point pours down into another larger auger that's slowly kind of like churning it along. And on the opposite side of this auger is a whole nother array of these structures that are funneling in your direction.
Okay, gonna Penn's gonna dip his finger into the final product. Slowly and carefully.
Is he just kind of like put it in there?
Like drawing a circle in it, like as it's moving. Or like,
Okay,
folding his finger and then letting like the current of finely ground sand-like materials brush by it.
Roll me some percentile dice, please.
Hi. Curiosity killed the tiefling. 33.
Okay. All right. So as you do, and you draw the circle into it, leather gloves aren't completely devoid of moisture, and little hairs on it are able to kind of hold on to humidity and other things for a little while. And so as you go in and draw the circle, it takes you make it less than halfway through the circle before suddenly you see specks of it begin to kind of like pop and spark.
Oh no.
Can I pull my finger back?
As you do, the tip of your glove is actually on fire, and you take 1 point of fire damage as the tip of your glove is now burned. And as you are able to like get it out, you can see it has burned clean through the leather.
Oh jeez.
That was what I
no.
was waiting for. I guess I should go check and see how much damage was done. While not giggling or trying not to giggle.
Wait, I have fire resistance.
Oh, well, fire resistance would have the damage, so it's
Still
half of
take
one is
one.
1.
Yeah.
Also, can everyone except Bob do another Constitution saving throw?
That's an 11, DM.
19.
Oh my gosh, finally. Wait, Thea, did you start feeling better? Who started feeling better before?
I did. I started feeling
Okay,
better
sorry.
last time.
So we do not need your save.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
11 doesn't count for anything? Okay.
sorry, it doesn't count for anything. It's a wasted roll.
How
However,
dare.
standing back at the doorway, you watch as Rinningham kind of turns back into the hallway, pukes one more time, and as he does, it hits some of the remnant dust that had kind of been sparking on the floor a little bit, and it
Oh,
creates
no.
a whoosh for a half second. Not enough to cause any harm. And he turns around, and he's got a lot more color in his face. He's like, I think I finally puked it all up. Yeah. And he is no longer poisoned. And Pen, however gloriously you decide to do it, because you weren't nearly as sick as he was, but you may also remove the poisoned condition. However, for those who took
Well, I
constitution
guess that
damage,
fire was good for something.
yes, I have cured my illness with fire. But yeah,
That's
so
exactly what it
also Bob, with your Arcana check,
Oh, I get to use it?
I saw it. It was a 23.
I was just
It was a
pressing
nat
that.
20.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
I
just
thought
random.
that was intentional. I thought you were just like watching what was happening and
No, that was, I wish I could take credit for it because it was a great role. And it sounds like that if I were to just sat here and been quiet, I would have received some information that I hadn't asked. That would have been awesome. But the reality is I was just screwing around and pressed that button.
oh,
Aw.
But if you want to go
well,
ahead and tell us.
DM, I think that you should reward him for his honesty.
I was gonna say I'm gonna thank you for that, but also like it's hard to not. We're in good role play. You rolled a nat 20, and it was on a actual check that was relevant to what was going on.
Take
Um,
it.
so as you saw what was going on before, and as you see what's kind of going on here as they're mixing some of these, you don't recognize all of the materials. Very plainly, you don't recognize all the materials. However, you you do you see the one that looks, it's got to be coal, charcoal. It's got the earthy smell, and that one down there that's white and yellow, that's probably the sulfurous smell coming down there. That's definitely looks okay. Well, you've got now charcoal, sulfur, some of these other ones, and you know how it reacts when it hits water. So you know for certainty this is some sort of alchemical fire. Um, it appears to be water or moisture activated. And this,
Greek fire.
it appears to be a form of Greek fire. Yeah. Um, Obviously Greek fire has actually fewer components in this. This is more
Yeah.
complicated than that, but this is, it's more like Greek thermite would be a more accurate. um,
Armor means nothing to me. I have Greek thermite.
Okay, but everyone's Rinningham's whole, blah,
whoosh.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was honestly just a thin powder of what was like kind of wafting in. It's not a perfect mix. It's not the right ratios. It's just kind of like a moisture mixed with all of the crap that's all there.
And the floor is stone?
The forest stone.
Okay.
It just kind of leaves like a little singe mark on the ground where his puke was, and then suddenly you can start to see like little specks every so often, just kind of in the pool. What's left? What little moisture is left there?
Okay.
And yeah. Pen, can you give me a perception check?
So close to 15.
Okay. From here, you look around and you can see that there is another 15-ish foot wide archway on the opposite side of this room, really. You also see that the conveyor belt that's heading out, drops down a ways. So it just kind of like the belt just kind of goes and drops down off about 10-15 feet. There's a hole in the wall in the ground that just kind of goes off down to. But you can see where it's not just pouring out. It is conveyored the whole way. The hole is about 3 feet in diameter, so you know
I can
if you
fit.
if you wanted to snugly fit down where the conveyor is going, you could snugly fit down where the conveyor is going. Or there's a 15-foot wide entryway, doorway, something way on the opposite side
Get
of
on
where
the
you guys are
conveyor
at.
belt.
Rittingham, I have a special assignment for you.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
what are you asking me to do?
I think it would be in all of our best interests if you were to continue this expedition down that conveyor belt, as it is much larger for you.
You want me to hop on the conveyor belt filled with the things that literally just set your hand on fire.
Yeah, we'll need to dry you off, or put you in like a plastic bag or something.
Plastic. Do you hear what he's saying?
I'll give you a gold piece.
Do you think I can just be bought? I can't just be bought. Do you think I can just be bought? How much gold?
That's a good idea.
I'll give you 2 gold pieces if you go in right now.
Rittingham, I don't think that's worth it, buddy.
No, let's hear it, Pen.
Yeah, Theo, you're the one who's only had 1 lesson in economics. Calm down.
Okay, but like your glove just caught on fire from that thing, and when Rettingham got all sick all over the floor, it went poosh. I think that him getting on a conveyor belt filled with that stuff is probably a bad idea. I don't need to be an economicist to do that.
But we could borrow your shovel and then he could sit on like a sled.
No, what would
It'd
that do?
be
It'd
safer
still
for
be-
us. Are you saying you don't want to give Rittingham his best chance of survival? You'd rather keep that for
I'm
yourself?
saying that I think his best chance of survival would be to go through the door, not on the conveyor belt.
Listen here. I was curious but sick before about this magical powder that does explodey things. I'm not saying I
All the more
don't want to
reason
go.
your gloves could probably handle it. You have the powerful gloves.
I do have the gloves, Pen. I just the one I don't know where that goes. I don't want to end up back in the pool.
What if you find something stronger at the end of the tunnel?
It was really cold in the pool. You know how I know?
Interesting.
I ended up in the pool.
In the pool.
I was in the pool. Do you remember me being in the pool? I fell in the pool.
We're gonna add water to this mix. So we're just gonna add you.
I am water!
Only like 90%.
Don't worry about the percentages. It's only 90.
10% of you that isn't gonna
You see this, again, 3.5 foot tall Verdun just incredulously looking up at you. Now, you listen here. We're either gonna all go down that tunnel, where you can all lay prone, and I can stand, or we can go through the perfectly good door. You will never.
And gently, bigly, he puts his arms on around both his shoulders and his arm, and he's just
Backs away like, what
he's
the?
eye level.
Oh, this is comical. I like this.
He's giggling. He just lifts Rittingham off the ground and holds him up to eye level.
Ken, I have a serious question for you. And he kind of leans right into your ear. I have a serious.
He holds him at an arm's length. He's just straining in his arms.
Pen, come here, come a little closer. Pen.
No, I can
Promise?
hear you fine from right here, buddy.
Pen.
Come on, it'll be a quick ride. He's just walking over.
Pen, have you just casually murdered someone before, Pen? Because it feels like that's what you're asking me to do. Be casually murdered.
He's gonna look him dead in the eyes with this kind of still giggling laugh. Just be like, oh, honey, you have no idea.
No,
He
I
sets
can't
him
get.
down and doesn't
I
put him
really
on the
can't.
conveyor belt. He sets him down on the ground and walks back towards the archway.
Finally, a sensible decision is being made.
Could you just imagine if we'd actually gone through with it? So before somebody have to be like, sorry, Stuart. You would have to
You act
have
like I didn't consider it.
One, splitting the party. Two, no, I don't have a map of where all this conveyor goes. I was gonna come up with one on the fly if you all went down there. But you're not gonna make me do that with just Stuart.
No. No.
Especially when he's not here. Yes. Oh my
What
gosh.
you mean? That's not okay. But that was funny.
Brilliant.
I'm
Stuart
actually
comes
in
back and he gets
tears. Oh
players
man.
burning him on a conveyor belt surrounded by explosive powder when it's exposed to water. He couldn't even pay it too hard.
Pin casually getting out their canteen, just being like, I wonder what'll happen.
The longer
Oh,
that the longer that Renningham has been still damp, kind of standing near this belt, you can kind of see where like every so often there's just like poofs of steam off of his clothes as like enough of the material just kind of like lands on his damp clothing and just kind of. It's not enough to ignite him, but it's enough to just, you know,
man.
It's
he just is like constantly steaming slightly.
it's like we're at a Vegas show.
It's like Elton John's here.
Right.
Hey, um, he's
So we walked
flaming.
through the archway.
Yes, we're actually gonna take a break because it is 10:30, and we're gonna take like a 15-minute break as you guys head through the archway.
Yay.
Dun, dun,
Does that sound like a
dun.
plan? Sounds like a plan. All right, we'll be back in like
like a plan to me.
15 minutes. Go get a snack or something because that's what I'm gonna go do and replenish my caffeinated beverages, and then we will reconvene.
Yay.
See you in a hot minute. here. Oh my gosh. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back from our break. We had snacks. I have more caffeinated beverages. It's going to be great.
In line 4, putting down.
Sorry.
Are you just not paying attention to what is going on here by playing something else that's getting feedback through your mic?
I mean, I was watching TikTok.
Am I a joke to you? Don't answer that. Do not answer that. That is...
No.
I was gonna say stand-up routine, but you know, you want to go a single joke, okay? You got a whole routine. You're not just one joke. You're the whole damn bit.
You get your own network special.
Netflix be coming in hot for you.
Well, the real question is it aired during prime time or is it one of those late night things that you watch when you're like drunk
Netflix.
and look
It's-
at it
it's-
waste your time?
It's Netflix, but I have to do my own promotion for it. It's one of those
And don't
specials.
worry, there'll be like little highlight reels that go around TikTok and Facebook like 6 months after the show actually comes out for everyone to watch.
And
And
everyone's like, "Oh, I could have watched that.
Yeah, and for better or worse, they're the best jokes of the set. Hate to break it to you.
Yep. 9 times out of 10, you've seen the whole set when you've seen the.
Yeah.
No worries, I know the best jokes of your set.
Aww.
I was around for those.
Oh. You're referring to real life events.
But the best
No.
stories are drawn from real experience.
Yeah. And even more fun from trauma. Anyway, emotional
trauma by,
damage.
Darn it. Oh, our DM is a donut. We're playing with a donut.
I just go round and round in circles, but I'm kind of sweet.
All right, let's process our emotional trauma by rolling some dice.
Yes, yes, I am
Really?
intentionally making sure, the things that do get peppered in throughout time are relevant to everyone. Okay, anyway, words and things and stuff. Right, where we last left off, you guys were walking through what appears to be a refining facility, where different ores and materials are being brought in, pummeled into a fine powder, and then turned into that fine dust that you saw before, pouring into that pool and creating all that steam. Some form of alchemical Greek fire, just a little extra punchy. Less flame, more heat and whoosh. Except for Rinningham, who currently is, drying off, but not in the way that he would have expected to, as, every so often there's just enough concentration of stuff in the dust in the air landing on his damp form to kind of just react with the water and dry him off a little bit. It's not hot enough to burn his clothes, so he's not just standing there in all of his green glory before you.
It fits his flashy personality.
He's-
Yeah.
His flashy personality. So, after a minor spat between Rinningham and Penn, having to do with the whole idea of, taking said wet Verdan and sticking him on a conveyor belt, the party has continued forward through the next archway on the opposite side of this, where crossing through into the hallway, it's almost like there's the temperature changes is drastic. So you went from a hot area before by the pool to cooler hallways to a much warmer facility where you are now, as there's reactions and things all going on and fire beneath each of the structures. And now you pass back into this hallway, and again it's back to being kind of cold.
Kind of cold.
Kind of cold. Not freezing, but definitely a significant drop in temperature.
A light jacket cold.
Yeah, light jacket, maybe a windbreaker, just enough to really take the edge off, kind of deal.
That's cool. I can work with that.
And this hallway also starts to kind of pitch downwards. Yep, down, down, down.
Don't worry, Rinningham, we might get to use a sled anyway.
Yeah, I never consented to that.
I might consent to this one. Less booms.
Just kind of looks at you. I'm gonna go walk with Theo. Just kind of like looks up at you, Theo. Just doesn't really say much. Just looks at you and then just
Theo
walking
looks
along the
down
hall.
at him, kind of nods. He's like, I get it. I get it.
Tried to kill me before.
You weren't
For
gonna
what it's-
die.
For what it's worth, buddy, if Penn had actually tried, I might have physically intervened.
No. No.
Bob's just like, it would have been funny. It would have been up in flames and it would have been funny. As you continue to walk down this hallway, it's only a slight pitch change, but you definitely can feel that you're leaning downwards. And the further and further you get, the sulfurous grease burning smell goes away. The metallic notes kind of linger longer in your nose, where it's almost like you got some of the finer dust caked up in there. Renningham sneezes, and you kind of see his little spark on the floor.
It's almost like you're describing a coffee. You know, little hints of copper and tin.
Oh yes, just slight metallic taste, a little earthy, little spice, and just a hint of citrus. There's no citrus in it. Just little notes of
Bring
that.
it the bright notes. Yes.
Yeah. We let these age just enough before we started the roasting process, and we go for triple roasting. Anyway,
Ooh. Ooh.
yeah, it's a hearty flavor with lots of layers. Do not steep above 180. You want it to go low and slow.
Noted.
Perfect for pour overs. Total digression.
All right.
Anyway, where was I going? Yes, the
Path
temperature.
going downward.
Path going downward. Continuing down, the light from behind you just kind of dims further and further, and about 60 feet down, it's next to pitch black. You can kind of make out little glints of whatever metals are on your person from the light behind you, but anything in front of you is just kind of dark. As you continue down, the temperature does continue to drop, and that light jacket is more of like a, oh, okay, all right, this is a little crisp, little brisk, but the tunnel keeps going.
And we're still seeing no signs of Mr. Clore.
You have seen nor heard no signs of Mr. Clore, and no longer do you smell signs of Mr. Clore.
All right. So we're walking along and it's getting more cool, more chilly-ish. Chile. And nobody's really confronted us about being someplace where we're not supposed to be?
Not yet.
Interesting.
I mean, the only people that we ran into were the homeless people.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be down here either, so is anybody else thinking that that we might want to look for a place to rest for a little bit?
I mean, we've been walking for a while. That might be a good idea, but
I mean, since you guys started in the morning, it's definitely been a few hours. Like, enough that Jim has had to use 3 wild shapes?
Two.
two, dog and cat.
Dog and
Yeah.
cat. I just couldn't remember if he had used dog twice. That's why.
Yeah, it's dog and cat. It's a dog and cat show here,
Okay.
and that's like all of my wild shape for the day. In fact, I'm remarkably tapped out on magic abilities right now.
I think, especially since we're all kind of feeling, or we're feeling a bit sick, it might be a good idea to take a rest. My question is, do we want to stay down here where it's cold, or do we want to backtrack a bit and go a little bit further up towards that other room where it was a little bit warmer?
That's up to you guys. I sleep good in the cold, so I'm happy with this. Plus, the cold, snakes don't like cold. I'm down with that.
Well, I mean, I'll do whatever you want, but I sure would like a source of light. I mean, following along with the wall here is,
Personally, being the person who is wet and now also very cold, somewhere warm or where we can make warm or find warm would be preferred.
That's great. Let's find some warm.
well, I mean, we know that it was warm back where there was all that powder. We could head back there and, like, right outside that room, try to set up there.
I feel like that might be looks over at back and where he thinks Penn is because it's all pitch black. I wonder if forward might be safer.
Wait, can we take that moment for a second? I just thought of something as soon as you did that. Rinningham's looking into the dark where he thinks Penn is, right?
Yeah.
So Penn has dark vision, so he can see it's like dim, right?
Yeah, it's most basically black and white. For about 30 feet, you can see in black and white. So yeah, you can make out most of your party members and their faces and all that. Well, like, all of them, really.
Penn's gonna just like slide around and then just like show up right at his shoulder.
Okay, and Penn's just kind of like looking, or not Penn, Renningham's just kind of looking back.
You need I'm sorry, my rabbit just threw all of his stuff off of his shelf. He's about to throw his food. Stop.
Classic rabbits. Let me tell you.
Oh, toothless.
I don't know. My classic rabbits when they chew through all of your electrical cables, and so you go to turn something on and nothing happens.
That checks out. That math checks out. So does anyone else have any thoughts while we await Penn's return in order to continue the heckling of Rinningham?
I mean, my thought here is that we're inside. It's not necessarily like we can really light a fire here.
Well, first I'm sick because I swim in poo, and then I get thrown into a pool of water entirely of without my intention or outside of my own volition, and now I've been cold, and then I go into another place and I puke and it catches on fire, and now sure, I'm a little drier than I was, but now we're going down here and it's cold again, and I just don't want to die.
I don't want you to die either. I mean, I would prefer not to die either, too. I mean, I told that the person back at the Adventurers Guild, I'd last at least a year, so I'm right with you on that one.
You might. And just kind of looks at you just like deadpan, just like, you might.
I'm gonna. But,
okay.
We don't know exactly whether or not it's safe to light a fire here now, do we? That powder caught on fire with wet.
It's all stone. Stone doesn't catch fire.
There's a building that fell that would beg to differ.
And buildings have wood. It's a structural reinforced thing. I have been in those buildings. They have stone and wood.
Okay, but the powder went on the stone ground.
It didn't burn the stone ground.
It scorched it.
Fire scorches!
All right.
How do you think they made your shovel? They burned metal.
Yeah, burning metal in a controlled situation is a bit different than whatever powder's flowing around here, right?
We are capable of control. Usually. Okay. Sometimes.
Are we?
This is Rinningham speaking, correct?
Are we, though? Mr. puts a rock on track.
I was performing an experiment. And it just so happened to backfire, but as you can see, from that particular incident, I am otherwise fine.
Yeah, thanks to Bob.
No, I didn't die from the initial shock. Excuse me?
Oh, so I'm not going to get any kind of thank you at all?
We'll get to that. The first, just look, gesture, looking around where the voices are coming from, because again, it's pitch black. Look, I didn't, I did not say thank you. I just said I survived it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, how are we going to start a fire in the middle of the inside? That's my question to you.
Well, we
I
need to
got a
find a.
tinderbox. I got
We shouldn't-
torches.
We shouldn't. We're in a dark hallway that's on an incline. We should find a place where that's not where we are.
Okay, we keep going to get level ground, and then what? I got a tinderbox and torches.
We can make a fire with that.
That's
And then keep it going how?
How many torches do you have?
4.
I think we would do better if we were to scavenge some wood. If we were going to do this, what we need to do is to find something kind of like that homeless encampment out of the way where
We're burning the homeless?
No!
And that's what Penn says next to Reddingham's head, on the opposite side of where Reddingham thinks Penn is.
I love it.
Backs into the wall. That's freaking cold.
Come here, Renningham.
we're not-
I'll keep you warm.
Aw.
I don't want. Can't see you, just staring at where the sounds are coming from. I don't want you touching me at all.
oh, won't have to touch you to keep you warm.
Anyway, where can we
Alright.
make camp?
Are we making
Sounds
camp
like we
in the dark?
To level ground, at least. I think Renningham's got an idea there. I would just as soon turn back and go backwards towards that other room, but I understand
know what's
Renningham's reservations.
I don't want this one, just gestures wildly. I don't want that one dragging me over the conveyor while I'm sleeping, and then telling me as I go down the chute, good luck.
That's a very good point. So we press on until we reach level ground. We try to see if we can find some place that makes more sense to camp out when we get down. Worst comes to worst, we just set up in the hallway.
On the incline.
No, I thought I said we keep going until we reach level ground, then we camp out.
Well, then you
So
said
we could
worst
lay
it was being the
down on the incline and you could roll down it, Renningham.
Why would I want to roll down? We're not sledding.
You may not want to, but we would find it entertaining.
I'm just gonna keep walking until I find something.
And Theo follows after!
And it's gonna walk right behind Renningham, far enough away that Renningham isn't quite certain if Ken is there, but close enough that Ken could just lean in and harass him.
Alright, give me a stealth check with advantage.
I love this dynamic.
$11 is the high.
Renningham is not pleased with you. And the first time you go in to, like, lean in and say something in his ear, he immediately turns right to where you are. I can feel you breathing on my neck. It's the only warm thing in this hallway.
Pen, you can't see it, but Pen puts up his hands and stands back up and just walks on.
And as Penn walks around, like, Renningham is still pointing in the direction where he felt.
He's just letting it air.
Yeah, basically. Random people in the cold and the shivering and the...
You'll be fine. Once we reach a place where we can set up camp, we'll make sure that you get nice and warm, buddy. You'll be okay.
We won't let you die.
I'm not gonna let you get frozen.
This path continues further down. 100 feet long, 150 feet long, 200 feet long. And I need you all to roll perception checks.
Oh,
With disadvantage because I'm in the
With
dark.
disadvantage. Well, actually, it's just straight
I
perception
don't.
checks, and it'll make sense.
Okay.
Some of us.
Well,
Some of us
That's a
are.
19, DM.
All right. So, Penn. Actually, it's really everybody but Rittingham. Rittingham still has some snot and other grossness from when he was puking earlier, just kind of clogging up his schnoz. But the rest of you guys begin to smell a faint, salty, damp smell. The air has continued to get colder. It's not enough that you're, freezing and taking damage. Rittingham is just displeased. But there's a salty smell in the air. It's not terribly dissimilar to seawater, but it's almost like a cleaner, because seawater often has like the more pungent, like rotting stuff type smell when you get to that. This is just like a salty air. And as you continue down the hallway, the previously smooth stone begins to start having a faint crunch underneath your feet.
Like crunching salt?
Maybe. And as
We look at
you
it, what does it look like?
say that again,
We look at it, what does it look like?
you pick up some, and it's still pitch black.
Yeah, but I've got like night vision stuff going on.
Do you
It's
have dark
still
vision?
gonna be in
Yeah.
ASMR duel. Yeah.
Oh, as Marta. Okay, so it looks it's flaky. It's a flaky and you smell it, and it's definitely a salt of some sort. You can smell the salty residue, and it's flaky, and this doesn't show up very well in dark vision, so never mind. We're not gonna go that route. But it is one of those, the chill has been consistent as you've head further down. And now finally, for those of you with dark vision, it stands out a little bit better than for those of you without it. There appears to be way off in the distance a source of dim lighting. A pale, whitish light off in the distance. And it's another 150 or so feet before suddenly those of you without it, so Rittingham and Theo, you can make out a dim source of blue light. Not dissimilar to what you've seen earlier, but this time it's there's less movement with the color of the light. And as you approach, you can begin to see that on the walls and the ceiling and the floor, there is more of this salty residue just kind of like sticking around to everything. And there's a nice crunch that continues to be beneath your feet as you walk around. Where is that creature that I wanted? Hey, there we go. Once you guys reach the light, and the crunching approaches, you can hear on the other side of the doorway, where a lot of this light is coming from, a skittering noise. And as you step in, you can say that again.
We're at Greyjoy Castle, or whatever the name of the castle was. Game of Thrones, the Theon's
Oh, the
castle,
Theon's.
one-
Okay, yeah. The
whatever it was.
yeah, Iron Isles. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the salty sea air is, stuck to the structure. This whole room has a dim but consistent blue light. And on the floor, you can see there's just lots of this salty material. And the entire archway of this passage is rather smoothly carved out. Um, but it appears to be a consistent block of this salty material. And now that you can see more clearly, the room is now cold enough that you can see your breath.
Ooh, that's no bueno.
But every so often, there is a light breeze of air that kind of comes through. And as it does, you can hear the crinkling of the salty material, and some pieces just fall to the ground. And it kind of passes you into the hallway. Rinningham now needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Because he is wet. And he nat 19's it. Okay, he's not taking
Hey!
damage, which is nice, because that was about to get real ugly. Can I get perception checks from everybody again?
Absolutely.
Do, do, do.
It's an 11. 11.
11.
Ooh, I did good.
Oh my gosh, 24. Holy monkeys.
Oh,
Is that
you
nat
were-
20? You
Yeah.
did. You nat 20'd.
Yeah, I did good.
First nat 20.
Yes. Oh, second. First official, because we kind of let the other one slide.
We did.
Mhm,
We didn't
mhm.
celebrate it, but that's okay. Life's good.
Pen, can I get your perception check?
Oh, perception. Oh,
Perception,
Oh.
perception, perception.
15.
15. Okay. You see a bunch of these small lizards.
No, that's
They're
what
about yay big. And as you stepped in off in the distance, you can kind of see them like kind of skittering along the salt, and they're kicking stuff up. And they kind of start climbing up parts of the wall. And Bob, you notice something as you track them up. Is that as they kind of hit the pinnacle, they kind of just like disappear slightly. And there's sections where it doesn't appear that whatever this is carved out of is solid. It looks kind of fluid, like sticking to the ceiling. And not moments after you notice that it's sticking to the ceiling, do these start to congeal and drip before your eyes as it plops to the ground, and another one behind it plops to the ground, another one behind it plops to the ground, as 3 ooze-like conglomerations are now kind of just like sitting there and forming up into their full selves in what
Hey,
is
I'm
a
gonna-
15-foot wide hallway.
I'm gonna slap my tiefling buddy. It's like, hey, do you see that?
Everyone can see it. It's dim lighting.
I
It's
think
just like a
we all
blorp,
see it.
blorp, blorp.
Hey, that is yucky. Let's get away from that. I don't like it. Anybody got
Bob,
something
you
to-
especially can see inside their forms the little white lizards that have been scuttering along. They're slowly being dissolved.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't like that. Let's get away from that. We're not going to be resting right now. This is not the place to sleep.
No, definitely not.
Away from here we shall go. All in agreement?
Are you guys going backwards? Or are you guys going forwards?
Which one gets me the farthest away from these things?
Backwards.
That's the direction I'm going.
How many
You're
are there?
lucky. 3.
If we go backwards, there's nowhere for us to go. We've already come to the conclusion there clearly isn't a way out of here back there.
No, I don't know that we've come to that conclusion.
I mean, there's the door that we came through that we broke.
I mean, we can do a lot of backtracking. But whatever the case, I just don't want to be near these things.
I don't have a good opinion on this, other than they look like they're slowly moving towards us.
Yeah.
That is
I'm
a
backing
good
up.
point. That is a good point.
And you watch as they do slowly move forward, roughly 10 feet every couple of seconds, just kind of.
Okay. Time to make a decision. Do we run backwards? Do we try to fight these things and get around them? What do we do? Choose now.
I've already cast my vote.
We got one to
There's no point
run.
in going backwards. Pen's gonna try and pursue forwards.
All right, one backwards, one forward. We need some more voting.
Just want to find a place to nap.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just. We'll.
I say we.
We can always run. We can always run.
Okay, cool. We're going forward, and
Let's
someone's staying between me and them. I'm making sure of that.
All right, fine. I volunteer.
Cool.
Wait, so Pen, you just said to run?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the consensus as these things continue to...
Pen's
We're
running
going
towards
faster.
the forward way.
Oh, you're running
skirt around
forward.
them.
You're gonna
Yeah,
try to go
yeah,
around
'cause
them?
They're slow.
I said forward. My vote was forward.
That's
Yeah,
Okay,
agree,
so
go
you're
forward.
running forward. Okay, well, if that's the case, we are going to roll initiative.
Yay! Yay! I'm happy.
You simmer down.
DM, that is a 14.
All right. Renningham. Gotten 8. Pen, what is your initiative?
Invisible, because the dice just flew across the screen and I didn't touch it.
You got a
It,
19?
it just said you rolled a perception check.
I know, but I didn't. I moved my mouse, and the dice went flying with it.
See, I was willing to take that 19 as an initiative, but
Where is my initiative?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Okay, I must be blind, guys. I can't.
It's
What?
right next to your
there it is,
armor
in the
class.
square
There,
center.
yep.
There we go.
Yep.
10.
10. All right. Bam.
Wait, and
All
I
right.
need just a second. If I could, I need to go put lavender on my spider bite because it's itching really badly.
That's fine. Your third initiative. So first initiative is Bob, then Theo, then Penn, then Renningham, and then these oozy
I am going to
creatures.
delay action while moving forward and keeping anyone between me and them. I want nothing to do with them. Nothing.
So currently Penn is the one who ran a bit ahead. So there is
Alright,
already
cool.
someone between you and them. D&D delay action doesn't work the same way as Pathfinder delay action.
Son of a.
So you have to specify a type of reaction, or a type of action that you're going to take as a reaction.
Basically, you pick the trigger.
Yuck, you gross me
Yeah.
out. Stay away from me.
So, yes, what is the trigger before you're going to do something, and what is that something that you intend to do?
I'm not going to do anything until one of these things lashes out at my partner, at which point I will bludgeon it with my stick.
Okay, so you're going to... Okay, we will work with that.
Cool.
All right, so moving on to Theo.
Yeah, Theo's never seen these things before. He is going to use his movement to try to skirt as widely around them as he possibly can. I know that we're in a relatively small, ish room.
Yep.
And he's going to hold an attack with the shovel, two-handed. So if one of the things tries to attack him, he'll strike back.
Okay, so Theo's gonna run up and smack it with a shovel.
He's got the shovel ready. He's like moving
Okay.
around. And he's like, if it tries to reach out, I'm gonna backed
Okay,
away.
so you're basically now, side by side with Bob going like, I'm also gonna pummel it if it gets too close. Again, Penn is just running off.
Yes. Exactly.
So now it is Penn's turn. Penn has a movement speed of 30. Guess I need to know if Penn is going to just try to move past it and invoke an attack of opportunity, or if Penn is going to try to move past the first one by dealing some damage to it.
Dun, dun, dun.
That is the real question. So, yeah. Guess we have to wait.
Yeah.
Also, the encounter tracker has improved since last combat.
Oh, okay.
It has a lot more details. I can update things more readily. It's actually really cool. Because before I had to track my own monsters' hit points and stuff like that. And I would remove
And now
them
it doesn't.
from initiative. Now it has its own hit point tracker, so as you guys deal damage to each of them.
And when you hit 0, the monster just goes poof off the tracker.
What I missed?
I think it crosses. I haven't gone to 0 yet, but if it was like the last one, it crosses it out and basically drops it out of initiative, so you can still see what you fought.
Nice, I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Pen, it is your turn.
Was
You
there
said you
some
were going to
sort of
try to
height?
run forward.
Yeah.
The ceiling, if you're looking for the height of the ceiling, it's about 15 feet tall. The room is about
No,
50,
I was gonna say, did I miss some sort of explanation about fight mechanics?
Bob wanted to delay his action, and so Theo did as well. So basically, they moved into a position where it's like, if one of these gets too close, I'm gonna hit it with something. That's basically all they did, is they moved up, used their reaction to ready. If it gets close, I'm gonna hit it. So you were said, hey, you're gonna just kind of run along and do things.
No, that was my reaction thing. I'm still moving forward, getting away from it. But you inquired about what was going to be my reaction if something happened.
Okay, so you are trying to move.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, if that is the case, then to move past them, you have to get within a threatened range. Are you going to try to pass through the threatened range? It's a 15-foot wide hallway, and these blobs are sitting basically in the middle, like in a line.
We had a vote and we said we were going to do this, so yeah,
Okay.
looks like I'm going into that.
So let us backtrack to Bob, who is now running up and has to choose either to attack it as he goes by, or to try to get past and hope that he doesn't get struck.
The whole idea is to get past it without getting struck. But
I know. That's why I'm clarifying. That's why I'm clarifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if it reaches out at me, then I'll swing at it. But otherwise, it's me trying to get past.
All right.
Oh no! Oh, that face! Uh-oh.
That's a nat 20.
For the slimes?
For the first slime that Bob runs up past.
Oh no.
I will have you all know I voted against this idea, but I'm supportive. Don't ever say that I'm not.
That's 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no.
Okay.
And is there an and? There's
7
an and.
points of acid damage.
Yeah, I figured.
Did we just kill Bob?
Yes, as a matter
Bob-
of fact, we did.
Bob just went down, for sure.
Yes.
Not dead yet, though. Just down.
Bob is not dead. Bob is down.
Okay. Well, then I guess
Um,
that would change what I would do.
Yep. So, but the funny part is that
Sacrificial lamb.
so this is where the visual ends up being is first Penn is like, fuck it, we're going, runs in first, but doesn't run in, then initiative starts. So you're ahead. Bob's like, all right, I guess this is what we're doing. Let me just go around, skirt the side. Wham! Down like a bag of rice.
Okay, well, maybe we know what Theo's doing instead.
Theo, there is there's like 15 feet between you and the first blob. Pen is
Okay,
in
I
front
got
of
30
you.
feet of movement, right?
Yep, and Bob is yeah, up
Okay,
ahead
well,
as well.
Theo, seeing what happened, is gonna close in, and he's gonna use his action to aid Bob by grabbing onto him and trying to drag him away.
So attacks of opportunity
I don't
happen
have any
as
sort of
I know. Attacks of opportunity happen as you pass out of the threatened space.
yes.
So that
I
means
know.
you are now to grab Bob, you are now parallel to the goop,
Yeah,
and you're now trying to drag him past.
I know, which is gonna have my
Um,
movement speed, but yeah, I'm aware. I will do it.
so
I
give
don't.
me
It's
a
in his character. He would do it.
give me a strength, actually an athletics check to just haul this person you've never had to carry him before.
Okay. One for a grand total of 5.
All right, so you are grabbing on, and you're realizing that some of the goop and ooze is still kind of like tugging him in place, and when you were expecting to go like 10 feet, you've now gone 5.
Okay. All right. Okay.
um,
That doesn't matter. 5 is still better than 0.
so yeah, so you are now Bob. Basically, if you're, I wish I had a map for this. Um, try to have maps for next time we do combat. Bob is between the wall and an ooze, and Theo is basically diagonal to the ooze, trying to drag past, past the ooze and get him out. However, that is where you are. So Theo does not invoke an attack of opportunity because you have not left a threatened space. Pen, you were up front, and then you watch Bob run past you, get thwomped, and Theo's now trying to drag him back. What do you do?
I'm gonna not go forward. I'm gonna come to a dead halt.
What was your
And
idea?
seeing Bob literally just get smacked down to like near death.
Hey,
My
don't
dead
try to eat
spirit
him.
stands next to you and stares
You're
begrudgingly.
not
I'm
dead.
not dead yet.
I feel
You're
dead.
not quite dead. You are unconscious.
I'm
Stop
so
trying to
close
eat
to
my
dead.
headphones.
I am much
Uh,
closer to dead than people
I'm
want.
gonna how let's think about this. There's 3 of them.
There are 3 of
And
them, yes.
How far away are they from me? Like 10 feet?
Yeah, about 10 feet. Actually, there's a 5-foot space between you and the ooze.
The ooze.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast magic missile. If my buttons will work.
Okay.
They will.
Did it work? Did my buttons work? I feel like my D&D Beyond page isn't responding very well.
It's
It's
not.
moved on to you now.
Uh-oh.
Let me try
Just
again.
passing around the fun.
Spells. Oh no, okay, it ate a slot. Okay, it worked this time. Okay, 1d4 damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna send, and that's 3 per each missile, right?
You can roll for each missile is the way I typically do it.
Oh, okay. I don't know how much. I wouldn't know that anyway. Are they in a line? Like,
Yeah, basically. There's one. They're further back, yeah. So there's one, and about 15 feet behind it is another one, and about 15 feet behind it is another one.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go all 3 at the first one. So we've got
Okay.
3, 6, and
So
4 is
10.
10.
All right. Blam. All right, so you guys watch as these bolts of energy. What color are your magic missiles?
Everything's blue around me.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
a
gonna
light,
make
pale, light
I'm
blue.
gonna make them red, so everything's
I like it.
So these crackling bolts of red energy just kind of like spray out of Pen's hand and just kind of and then zero in on the ooze that is slowly trying to pull Bob in. And you kind of watch as it singes off chunks of it. Um, However, it's not as much as you would have expected. Actually, no, never mind. It's not actually fire damage. Never mind. My brain was just associating red with fire, and that's not how that works. It creates holes in it, and you watch as its form just kind of slumps slightly to accommodate for the sudden lack of materials to make up its form.
Well, that was a nuisance.
I mean, it's still there. Is there anything else you do? Do you move at all, or do you just kind of like stay here? I'm gonna just throw fire or throw magic missiles.
I'm gonna step back a chunk.
Okay, you're just kind of. Maybe this was a bad idea.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So next up is Renningham. I am not as familiar with Renningham spells or abilities and stuff. Actions. Bardic Inspiration. Hey, that's what we can do. So Renningham, seeing everything that's going on, he's just like quietly pulls out his kazoo and just starts. And basically starts going at you, Theo. You bonus action, creature within yourself can gains an inspiration die. So you now have a d6 of inspiration that you can hopefully use, and that's just a bonus action. So he still has a standard action. What is he gonna do? I don't know all his spells.
He's going to cast Fireball.
I don't think he has that spell yet.
Oh, he doesn't, but it'd be even worse if he did because this is a really small room.
I've got to make sure like I understand what the spells do. All right. He is going to burn one of his first level spells and cast Dissonant Whispers. So it needs to make a saving throw because it doesn't look like it is immune to that. So that's cool. Does it have saving throws? Oh my gosh, it's gonna fail. Oh yeah, that's a 2. Okay. So the you watch as the form in next to you, Theo, just kind of like stops pulling on Bob and just kind of like undulates weirdly, and you kind of can see ripples on its surface, similar to like if you were to kind of talk too closely to a glass of water, where it's kind of like has these faint rippling effects going on. And it has to take, on a failed save, it takes 3d6 points of psychic damage and must immediately
Nice.
use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. Nice! Good old Dissonant Whispers. Alright, so that's what, 3d6 I said? Yeah, 3d6. Bam.
Very nice indeed.
It's a wisdom saving throw, so it's kind of dookie. Oh my gosh, 11 points of damage. Hello! So, as you watch these things happen, it kind of just like lets off steam. And its form just continues to... Wait, why did it... that ain't right. It should have... What the crap? Blam. Okay, there we go. It killed it even though I had done the exact amount of damage it should have done. That was weird. Okay, train of thought. Where did it go?
Renningham cast Dissonant Whispers. Slime
Yes,
is down to
Renningham-
1 HP.
Yep, slime. You
Theo
watch.
was watching this whole thing happen.
yeah, Theo gets to watch it kind of happen up close as it just kind of like steams off, and then because of distant whispers and failing, it tries to get away, and moves back about 10 feet. So actually, Theo, it invokes an attack of opportunity from you.
Okay. All right. Invokes an attack of opportunity from Theo. Theo had both of his hands on his buddy, trying to drag him away, but fine. Theo will give it a whack with the shovel.
With the shovel?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's an 18 to hit.
that's a hit. That is definitely a hit.
Yeah. I have a feeling I know what's gonna happen. But yeah, okay. That is 8 damage.
Nice. So do you go for like a flat smack or do you go for like a slice?
Well, so this thing is like basically like lizard bones and a little bit of ooze, right?
At this point, yeah, it's mostly just other random accoutrements, and even the bones are just kind of like away.
Okay, well,
There's not much
Theo,
bones to these little tiny lizards.
yeah, Theo's gonna go. He's gonna try to see if, like, he can. He's never seen one of these things before. He's gonna go for the bones. He's gonna just like right down on the
Okay.
bones.
Slide on the slice. All right. So yeah, you watch as it splits what's left of it in half, and yeah,
Here we go.
it's now dead. However, you watch as you pull your shovel back, you see that some of the edge of the metal where you had whacked into it, you didn't have to go very far, is kind of like melting some of the metal. And you now have on one side of your shovel a slightly serrated edge. Although, as you swing it around, you can see it kind of like flex. So it's not really a strong edge. It's
So, guys, these things can dissolve metal. Just be aware. Not that it matters for you two who can use magic. But oh well. Now the shovel is gonna go back down and go back to where it was.
I have a hunch, and this is really irrelevant to the state of this battle currently.
okay.
However, these slimes apparently they corrode and dissolve metal. Maybe someone used these slimes in some capacity to cause the damage to the railway station, the railway lines. Just a thought for us to consider if we could maybe kill one of these and put it in a glass bottle and see if we can take the specimen back to the captain. This might provide some answers.
Oh my God!
They're pretty far from the. I mean, they would have had to. Never mind. We don't have time for that now. We'll think about it later.
Whose turn is it?
It is time for the next slime. The next slime begins to kind of slowly make their way over. However, there is still space between it and the rest of you guys. It is now 5 feet from Bob as it just kind of slowly makes its way to the closest entity. And so it moves from the center to like along the wall to like closer to Bob.
Basically, it's looking for lunch.
It can use both of its move actions and get right up to you, but there is nothing about an ooze just rolling over you doing things. So it's gonna just get right up on you, next to you there, Bob, as it just kind of like takes all of its turn to just kind of slide over a little bit more. It can't do anything, but it just slides right over. And the next one takes its full turn to just kind of continue to move. And it's way further back. Just slowly move, and it makes a whole 20 feet on its turn, closer to the party. Bob. We're back to the top of initiative. However, we had talked about this back when we did the trial run almost a year ago, or about a year ago. I'm going to
Yeah,
roll your
most
death
death
saves.
saves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I just get to spectate.
You do just get to spectate
I'm
because
just-
you're not even going to see the death save. I'm not going
You're
to
just
tell
sitting
you
here groaning
the
in
death
pain,
save.
man.
I mean, straight up unconscious, not even groaning. He's just knocked out. He's just pummeled. Yep. Okay.
Slammed into the wall. Ouch.
Theo, there is now a slime that has been approaching Bob and is now just a few inches from his head.
By the way, for those who aren't aware, the last time that Doug did these rolls for me, he rolled 3 20s in a row.
Okay.
Just letting you know that there is a history.
There is a history. Which in this, oh, did I lose people? No. Okay.
No.
Theo, it is your turn. What is Theo doing?
Slime is right up by Bob's head. All right.
Yep.
Okay, well, moving someone, and this is me, the player, saying this, out of range doesn't incur an attack of opportunity on them. I'll risk the attack, though. Theo is going to try to haul him out of the way.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
All right.
As you try to drag him. He was heavier than you expected him to be when you tried to do it the first time.
Are you kidding me? Okay,
You managed to get another-
1d6. I got another nat 1. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, you can add- you can-
Flaming Pogo 6. I can add 1d6. Yeah.
You can add a d6. Do you want to use it?
I don't know how much it'll help. Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? Let's do it.
Add a d6. Add a d6. Come on. Come on, Theo, with a nat 1 on the d6.
6 DM.
You
I did not roll tonight.
you're having a hard time. You grab Bob by the ankles and you're just like trying to drag him backwards, but the rough, salty floor, it's just you have no traction and you're just like slide and you get another 5-ish feet from it, and you just as you do, one of the blobs just kind of like just try to reach out and try to get where Bob was, but doesn't get it.
Okay, well, Theo is right there then, right? So I guess what Theo
Well,
will
you
do
dragged it
is-
further away, so there's space between you and it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
There's technically there's you, then Bob, then a space, then the blob.
So about how far away from the slime are we now?
You are 10 feet. Bob has a 5-foot gap.
Okay, well, yeah, Theo will keep trying to drag him out on his next turn.
Okay.
Well, if it turns into tug of war here, worst comes to worst, he's gonna throw himself on top of Bob.
Okay. Pen. There's now technically a gap in the wall where you could possibly pass around without getting
Without
oozed.
incurring an attack.
Yeah, without incurring an attack. However, there is one just beyond them who is moving in your direction. So you'll bypass one and be close to another.
No, I don't really want to fight one on my own.
Sure you do. It's not like they're tough. Not like they'll kill you or anything.
Bravely he ran away.
I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead on the closest one.
Just for shiggles, give me just a straight wisdom check.
What are you doing?
19.
You know Toll the Dead would be a lot more effective if it had already taken damage.
Pen has done experiments.
You can still use it. I'm not going to stop you from using it. However, it deals more damage if it has already taken some damage.
Okay, then I'll use Acid Splash on it.
That'll work. Does it get a save or anything for that?
Succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage.
Gosh. So, blobs such as this do not typically have a high dex score. In fact, his dex modifier is in the negative.
Oh, good.
His total is a 15.
At or higher beats, right?
Yep.
He's fine.
So it's half damage. Is it half damage or no damage? For Acid Splash.
Doesn't say.
If a target succeeds or takes, okay,
No,
so
it's
there's no half
succeed
damage.
or take. So
Yeah,
it's not
succeed or
half.
take. So unfortunately, you just spray high. It's just not how, or just kind of like flattens as it goes. Yeah. Yeah. Picture Rimuru where when like something goes right by and Rimuru's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and comes back up like,
Oh.
I'm gonna step back too. I'm not letting
just
that
takes
happen.
another couple steps back. Again, there's now more space now between Penn and Bob and Theo than there was before when Penn was in front. Penn is just like, I'm just gonna keep slinking backwards. I'm keep within spell range, but I'm just gonna keep on, slowly disappearing.
Long gone.
I'm assisting.
You are, and we appreciate it.
All right. Renningham
Grief.
watches as this happens and is just like, I mean, I can just hear. And as he does, he plays another like tune on his kazoo and casts Fairy Fire, which is a 20-foot cube. And they will have to make dexterity saving throws.
Negative modifier. The dude's still on.
Yeah. So let's do
I hate it when that happens.
Dex. Ah, it's a nat 1. All right, cool. That's a fail. And that one's a fail. Oh, thank the Lord. So both of the other blobs in the hallway, you watch as a magical poof of fairy fire comes down as he's playing on his kazoo, and they are now glowing faintly. These oozes are now glowing faintly. However, he's like, now go hit them. You'll hit enemies here. Because you now have advantage on them if you were to try to smack a smack attack. Lay a smack down.
Smacky smack.
And then, as a bonus action, he is going to Bardic Inspiration again and continue playing on his kazoo. He's like, Theo! Get him out of here!
I'm trying.
So you
I'm
have...
doing my best. He is very slippery.
So you now have another Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
All right.
It's like trying to catch a greased pig.
This particular blob sees that you are the thing. Well, detects because it can't really see its blind sight. Notices that you are the thing that is doing the moving, and just kind of like goes around Bob, and then gets next to Theo before it just kind of tries to shove its giant blobby self against you.
Okay. Sure.
That is a 17 to hit.
That hits. My
At
AC
least
is
it's
a
not
14.
at least it's not a nat 20.
That's true.
That is what took Bob down, is the fact that it critted. Oh, so that is 3 points of bludgeoning damage
Okay.
and 4 points of acid damage.
All right. Okay. I'm still over half HP. Barely.
And then you do not have any metal armor or anything like that, correct?
No, I'm wearing leather.
Perfect. Ah, good old leather.
It's Dad's leather armor.
That is true. It is Dad's leather armor. So it, it continues to make its way, doing its thing. The third one, the one that's further back, is still just on its turn, just slowly trying to move forward, getting closer. With a full move action, however, it is now not next to you, Theo, but next turn, if it were to full move, it would be able to get to you. Seeing as you're now physically the closest thing to them, as Renningham didn't enter the room, and Penn has continued to back up every chance that Penn has.
So these
Bob!
things seem to be attracted to movement.
They do seem to be attracted to movement. It's also a, Give me a nature check. Just
Alright.
for
Me or
Well, hey, it's
Uh,
not a nat
Theo.
1. That's a 6. That's a
Okay.
4.
Okay. Good to know. So yeah, no, you can't make heads or tails of if what they're
Yeah, yeah.
what they're using to. They're just you just know it's coming in your direction, and there it is, just kind of like slinking along in its blobby
Slipping along
form.
like a slinky little fly. I got it. Yeah.
Theo, it is now your turn
Okay.
as you continue to try to drag Bob out of the situation.
And there's one like right next to me.
There is one right next to you now.
Okay.
It has not taken any damage either. This one.
As much as I hate to do it, I feel awful bad about it. I don't think moving would be very smart of me, so I guess. And the shovel is coming out, and DM, I would like to use Hunter's Mark
Okay.
on that slime that
Theo's getting serious.
that banged me up. So he's
Yep.
gonna narrow his eyes at that slime. He's gonna say, "You know, this ain't nothing personal, buddy." And he's going to attack with the shovel. Do a smacky smack with the shovel.
Okay. Smacky smack with the shovel.
Smacky smack with the shovel.
That is
Higher
that is
roll
a hit.
23. All right.
That is
so
a
roll
hit.
the damage. And you know what? Since he's serious business here, rather than doing slashing, he's gonna go for the bludgeoning, which is just gonna be the 1d10 plus 2.
Just trying to slap it. Yep.
Exactly. That's a fucking 1 there, but at least I've got the hunter's mark, right? So that's another
Yep,
1d6. That's a 2! Grand total
All
of
right.
5 damage on that thing.
All right.
Yeah.
ones are they're representing this evening.
So it's actually one less than that because unless you included the fact
because my weapon was already
has
damaged by the
taken
acid,
some
I know.
damage, and as you pick it up, you watch as more of the metal on the edges begins to just kind of slowly sizzle. As your weapon now takes a second point of damage. If the penalty drops to -5, you lose
It
the
breaks.
shovel.
I know.
Can we go into a berserker rage as a reaction to the damage to a sacred family heirloom?
It's not so much a sacred family heirloom. It's like the only thing that he could afford.
Close enough. That can still be a sacred family heirloom.
Yeah, Theo's just like, all right,
Hey, I'm
well,
trying to eat through.
I bring this little thing up a little bit. You guys want to maybe let's aim for this guy. How about that?
What do you think I gave you the light for? Pen, it is now your turn.
Pen's gonna cast magic missile on the closest slime.
Okay. Magic missiles. Missiles, magic.
3. Ooh. 7. 11.
Nice. All right. 11 points of damage. And you watch as again, Theo, you get a front row seat to how the colors react with this oozy body. It was a pale gray blue that kind of matched the walls that were you're in the faint glow, and you watch as like this steam just kind of flows off of it, and its body begins to kind of like shrink and shrivel with each blast of energy coming from Pen. Rinningham.
Nicely done.
Rinningham has already used Fairy Fire. It is a concentration.
He's gonna use cantrips.
He can. I'm just trying to Doesn't exactly have a whole lot of combat spells. He's a bard. He's for support. Um,
Master.
you know what? He's gonna try to throw his dagger at it.
Stuart's gonna get back. He's gonna be like, "Where did my daggers go?"
He's just gonna take. He only has. I don't think he only has the one dagger too.
Oh, he only has the one. Oh no.
He only has the one dagger. I guess that's what we're doing. We got the one dagger, and he's gonna throw it.
Runningham's at home with this in the background going, I would never do that. No.
All right, so that's a 17, 17 to hit, so that's a hit, and we're gonna roll some damage, and he rolls 1 point of damage.
Oh, maybe it's
Wait,
faster than
really
him.
though?
Say again?
I said, but really though?
Oh, actually, he has advantage, so he might be able to roll for a crit. So let's actually go for because everyone has advantage on it.
Oh, good. We were so
Oh wait,
worried.
fairy fire, does that give advantage even to ranged, or is it only to melee?
I don't know.
The wording
Be just like a
says
plus to hit.
any attack roll.
Attack
so
roll.
Melee,
Yep, yeah.
Ranged attack
Melee
roll.
melee counts. Ranged. Okay, so let's see.
Ranged
Can we
counts?
go? Can we go for a nat 20? No, it's not a nat 20. Okay, so he deals a whopping 1 point of damage.
Man, you do
So-
what you gotta do.
So he's like, ah! And just like whips it, and it just kind of like grazes the top of it, and you can kind of see it slices. And again, Theo, front row seat, as you see the sizzle of the metal begin to burn as the dagger just kind of like clanks off into the distance out of sight.
Oh no.
Well, shit. And then lastly, because bonus actions are a thing, a creature that can hear you gains. I don't think it's limited to one creature at a time when it comes to Bardic Inspiration, right? So Theo has Bardic Inspiration, and he's going to keep singing, and it's... I don't think... No, deaths are not... Yeah, you can't... He's unconscious, so I can't give it to Bob to be like, hey, pull through, Bob!
No.
So... Pen! Try to do something!
This is a shit show.
Oh gosh, this was not how I planned any of this to go. I am sorry and not sorry all at the same time. So...
I
Oozy
already warned you
Goozy,
what my next character is.
I know, moves up to whack at Theo.
Yeah, this tracks. Okay.
It misses. It's a total of an 11. So...
11.
It
Okay.
tries to whump into you, and Theo's just like, yeah, no, I ain't getting touched by that again. And then it just kind of like ripples there, like frustratingly. But you can see it's much smaller than it was when it tried to, start to consume Bob's head. However, the one behind it, because unfortunately you guys are just the closest things to go to, finally does catch up to you there, Theo. And it tries to, with its much more normal size, try to thwomp you. And that's a modified 20, so that's a hit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So that's 3 points of bludgeoning damage as it just whumps into you, and then
Okay.
11 points of acid damage as Theo goes down.
I'm down. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Theo is next to Bob, just like lying on the ground. You see some steam and nasty kind of just like coming off of their unconscious form. And we are...
Looking at Bob, says, hey, can I have some of that popcorn?
Plenty of it right here. Let's watch the show. It's not very pretty. When you're watching your own party in third person, it's not that awesome.
All right, so Bob, that's your third roll.
And you're dead.
And now it's time for Theo's first roll.
Oh boy.
Okay.
My
Pen!
luck, it's gonna be a nat 1.
Pen! You just happen to see out there in this tunnel, Theo is now unconscious, and there is a small kind of blobby ooze just kind of doing its thing. And then there's another much larger one kind of right next to it.
Okay. I Okay, I will cast Acid Splash on the close wounded one. Closer.
The wounded one. Okay. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Bionk. It fails dismally. That is a grand total of a 2.
Okay, 1d6. Oof. That's a 1 of acid damage.
It takes some acid damage. And it just kind of shrinks a little bit more and just kind of undulates rhythmically. Anything else there, Pen?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take another step back or two. I'm still in plenty of range, but I ain't letting this thing get anywhere near sensing me.
That checks out. Redingham, seeing that this has gone on, well, and he is going to, oh, geez, this is his last spell slot. And he looks at the bigger one, and just you, Pen, because you're closer to him, you hear him start muttering things in strange tongues. And Theo, you would have a nice view as it does, there's more dissonant whispers, and you see the rippling effect on the surface of the one that is whole.
I see nothing. I'm sleeping. I'm
Yes, but
unconscious.
unfortunately you see nothing.
Yes. I'm sure it looked very lovely, though. Very, very awesome.
Okay, and it failed the save, and so it takes only 8 points of damage. That sucks. Damage. Theo couldn't use their Bardic Inspiration. That
No.
sucks.
No.
All right. However, since the motion near them has stopped, the smaller of the oozes continues to just kind of like slink forward, closer and trying to move towards Penn and Rinningham.
Oh, no.
And the next one does as well. And so they're now just kind of like 2 blobs that are slowly moving closer to the things that it feels are moving. Bob, this is your 4th roll.
Oh,
And now we're going on to Theo's 2nd roll.
I hate this. It's so tense. I love it. But like at the same time, like my anxiety levels are spiking and it's wonderful.
Pen.
Yeah.
These blobs are now, they've moved 20 feet last turn as they were trying to move closer to you. So they are now only about 20 feet from you.
Okay.
What do you do? They have both taken some damage. One looks a lot more haggard than the other. Relatively terms.
Okay, then I'm gonna use Toll the Dead on the nearly deceased looking one.
Okay. Toll the Dead.
I love that.
Does it make a saving throw for that?
The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage, but if you're missing any hit points, it'll take 1d12 instead.
What's the save? Oh gosh, never mind, it fails. There's no way.
Okay.
It fails. Roll the damage.
Yay!
1d12. Where's my d12? D10. 12. Six.
Hey, so the smaller one, the one that you cast it on, that took another 6 points, and that one just kind of plumps and then just kind of like liquefies. It just kind of like seeps in, and you can kind of see as like some of the salt just kind of sizzles a little bit, and there's some of the bones left in it from and other things it's collected along the way.
Collected. That's nice.
Yeah, it just finds
Should be
things.
fun.
It just finds things as it goes. Renningham is kind of in a bind. Because I'm realizing he has certain equipment and not other equipment that I was hoping he might have. So I hate that this is the case, but on guard, and just kind of like goes in, whips out his rapier, and goes for a slat. I mean, he's either gonna do that or he's gonna run. He's out of spells. But he has advantage, so because fairy fire. So rapier, nat 20. Cool, done. Nat 20. So that
Finally.
is. Oh, it automatically rolled the crit damage too. Nice. So that is 8 points of piercing damage. It is not looking good. This last ooze just kind of doing its thing, and Renningham turns to Penn and is like, "You better kill this thing because I'm in range."
Oh.
It's now its turn. Oh. Back. Oh, okay. That's 2 points of bludgeoning damage, 5 points of acid damage, and he has 8 hit points, and he's now down to 1. Pen, I could really use your help right now.
These are the moments we live for as D&D players. That's how this works.
All right. Pen, it is now your turn. 10 feet from you, there is an ooze that has just murdered several people in front of you, as far as you can tell. And you have a friend who is literally like covered in nasty, just being like, "I am here by the skin of my teeth. Kill this damn thing." Do what do the needful, please. For the love of God, can we not have a TPK?
I don't think we would. I think I'd live.
Run.
I will use my last spell slot and I'll cast Magic Missile.
Pen would run. Come back later for the experiment fodder.
Hey, 5 damage on the first one.
Okay, good. Looking good.
7.
Okay.
$11.
And you watch as these bolts just kind of, and the thing just sizzles and kind of melts down. And now the hallway is quiet. And Renningham
Well done.
looks over at you. Please don't
It
take
wasn't
this
that
as
big
a
of a
reason.
deal.
And he just like, what? 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 And then Rinningham runs over to see how his compatriots are doing. Theo is closest. Pen, what do? Do you do anything as well, or are you staying in the hallway?
I'll walk over to look at them. Assist however I
Rinningham
guess I can.
goes over to Theo and kind of shakes at Theo, and Theo, you just kind of... Oh, thank God!
Did
And
are we dead?
Pen, do you check Bob?
Yes.
Okay. Bob is still breathing.
Oh,
Yay.
Bob
Were you
rolled.
worried there, Jim? Did you want a new character?
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how to react. It's like, oh, he's still alive.
Bob rolled a 15, then a nat 1, then a 10, and then another 10.
Oh, I mean, we know he succeeded, but wow! Oh my gosh! Like,
It really was.
on either of those 10.
Exactly. It was literally a 50-50 at the end on that last roll, where it was just like,
That's so scary.
I'm like, this is literally his second combat. Like, can he not have to die during this?
It's up to the dice.
Theo,
It's entirely up to us.
you had just 3 successes in a row. Just
Oh,
dink,
good.
dink, dink. So you come out of it, and you're at, just 1 hit point stable.
Yeah.
Bob, you take a bit longer to come to, and yeah, you're stable, yeah, you're alive, but you are not feeling so hot.
Am I conscious and cognitive?
You are conscious and cognitive. Specifically
Cool.
cognizant, but,
You pronounce it the way you want, and I'll pronounce it the
Well,
way
no.
I will.
Cognitive means using of the mind. Cognizant means awareness.
I'm trying to come up with a clever comeback, but
Okay,
Ha! Grammar Nazi!
yeah,
how do I do that?
gonna
How do I do
happen.
that? Is that how we do it? So
So
I'm
Bob,
recording my successes, but like, how do I? Because it's not showing me my HP. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't figure out how to like make it show that I'm back up.
I think you just give yourself 1 hit point. Just do 1 hit point of healing, and it should show you as backup.
Okay.
Apply changes. Bam. New hit points. Bam.
Oh, apply changes. Okay, that hadn't
Yep.
shown up previously. There we go. Okay.
Okay. So Rinningham was down to literally 1 hit point. Bob was
I
down.
know he did great. He did so great.
Since there's no more things here, do you think we can just set up camp? I just want to take a really long nap now.
You know what?
sounds
I'm willing to
great.
sacrifice as many torches as we got to.
It's fine. I got a bedroll.
Yeah.
Does he have a bedroll? Does he
Let's
have a
see.
bedroll? Oh, he doesn't have a bedroll.
Oh no, really?
He's gonna have to get snuggly.
You know what? Theo does, and Theo is grateful to
Hey,
Bob.
don't worry, Penn has one.
Um,
You can share Penn's bedroll.
roll me a persuasion check, Pen. Against a
You
very
have
dazed and tired. Because I'm not gonna.
19.
Oh, okay. I mean, you did just save my life, so I guess if you really want to snuggle up to my little green self, I'm gonna go. And
Aw.
he just kind of makes his way over, and you can see he's just drenched in gross ooze nasty, and
Yeah.
it's helped dry off some of him, because as it kind of fizzles away, it leaves dry patches on his thing as it eats through stuff. And oh, let me go get my dagger first. And he slowly makes his way down and grabs his dagger, and I have to now mark the dagger down as like -1.
Meanwhile, the shovel is -2.
Customize damage bonus of -1. The
You
name
guys
of it
have battle
is
scars. I even get to swing at it.
damage. Bam. Yep. Okay. So now Actions.
-2 damage bonus. Save.
Ooze. Damaged.
Oop.
Dagger.
There we go.
Bam.
How do I? Oh, I don't know that it necessarily recorded properly. Let's see.
So okay, that's interesting that it's not actually.
Is it not
Anyway.
showing up for you either?
Well, it did the customization.
Like
but it's
under customization, it's showing. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna roll it just to see what happens. It might automatically do the -1. No, it didn't. Weird, because I know if you gave it a positive bonus, it would work. Oh yeah, no, the damage bonus didn't stick.
That's weird. That's really weird. Do you have to maybe
There we
change
go.
the attack?
There we go. Now it worked. I
Have-
did the damage bonus -1, and then I unchecked one of the checkboxes, but I renamed the weapon. I renamed it Ooze Damage Dagger. And now it has the -1
Oh.
on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I can
Let's
roll
see.
it,
So maybe.
and in this case, it says it rolls 0 damage because it's 1 on the die and a -1. Okay. So, you guys, it's chilly, it's cold, and as you try to find places to sit down and lean up against the salty rock, like some of it flecks off onto your clothes a little bit, and Renningham with his dagger just puts in his pocket and curls up next to you, Pen, and is just like, I'm gonna take a really, really good nap now.
Okay, let's see.
So who is taking the first watch?
Not me.
Benwell, he's the most alive.
Okay.
Bless you. Very kind of you. All right, there we go.
right.
That worked.
So
I am settling in for a long night's sleep, and do not wake me up. It is
all
very
right.
important.
Those of you who took any of the ability score damage, you're allowed to take back 1 point of damage from each of your ability scores that had it. So in this case, most people it's just a -1 or 2 to Constitution. And you all do manage to get a long rest unhindered and unscathed. I
Oh,
know.
thank goodness.
I feel so fortunate.
So I've just given Renningham his long rest. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't mean to roll that. His other modifier is back to a 0. So he's now healed up on his 1
Okay.
ability score damage.
All healed. We're all sleeping.
Okay.
Not really gain health. But
So yeah. Yeah, you gain health when you sleep and everything, and so you're all, good couple hours go by and you wake up with a little better pep in your step. Renningham now has time to look at his dagger and just lament how it's like, that was my good dagger, and the tip is all now blunted and stuff like that. And he's, kind of being all Renningham about it. But that is where we are going to adjourn for this evening with a near miss
Near to BK.
of at least,
thank goodness.
yeah, oh my gosh, by literally 1.
Good grief.
Yeah, Renningham was about to go down, and Bob was down to a 50-50. So, anyway, I'm tired. I'd like to go to bed. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And, yeah, I'm trying to think of any announcement-y type things. There's a chance that Friday's stream will be canceled. I'll keep posted on the Discord. Links have been in the chat. I'll post them again. And also but I should be able to stream Sunday, so that should still be normal. And hopefully we will all be able to reconvene together next Tuesday for more Dungeons and Dragons. Renningham, Stuart couldn't be here because he was trying to be good husband and just had some family stuff going on. So, and then Clore will be back, hopefully sometime after Thanksgiving. So Dave is he's got some stuff going on for him as well, and so we're gonna just keep on keeping on until we can't keep on anymore. I don't want to not keep on anymore. Anyway, that's all I got. So you guys got anything
Thank you.
before we?
No.
Yep, I'm all
Alright.
good.
Have a good
Cool.
week, everyone, and thank you for a good session, DM. That was super fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and glad you all didn't die.
Yes, thank you for not killing me.
I,
You're very
I,
selfish in
Despite
Right.
his best efforts.
hey, you make it sound like I'm in trying to murder you. I'm just trying
No,
to
it's-
moderately inconvenience you.
I don't know that you're putting conscious effort into it, but I get this feeling, this suspicion that you might enjoy it.
Oh, you're just asking me if I'm a sadist, and the short answer is yes.
Oh, okay.
And on that sobering note, I'm gonna click the end stream button. We're gonna go like this.